Here we are, listeners, with Chronicles of Darkness, Creepy Rashomon Marine Buffet, Vampire the Requiem, Episode 1. This is a new game, listeners, taking place in the Creepy Rashomon Marine Buffet cinematic universe. There's an intro episode that came before this that explains the concept. You probably should listen to that one because this is not going to make a lot of sense. So, I am Devin, the GM, returning to GMing after my break after the living years, and across from me we got...
I am Kevin, playing Caesar Vargas, who is a ventrilo.
I'm Nicole, playing Leo Kelly, who is a maquette.
And Peter, playing Fyodor Vladislavovich Patrov, a maquette.
Fucking what?
Oh man, Peter.
Fyodor Vladislavovich Patrov.
You got it, Fry.
Peter said for our...
Ferrari.
Peter said Fyodor in the cat.
And then he said, actually, you also said the character's last name, but
It was a form of music.
that character does not have a name.
Oh my Christ. Alright, so it is a balmy October week in Atlantis 1, a city over 6,000 miles under the ocean, at the bottom of the sea, in the abyssal zone, far away from light's hateful embrace. The city is made up of 4 public domes that people live in. It's underwater ecology. It is the 1980s. The 1980s exist in every single spectrum of 1980s, so it is at the same time January 1st, 1980, and it is also December 31st, 1989. It's all happening at the same time. We're not worrying about the exact dates things came out. It's all happening. There are 3 main domes that are national, like they're country-based: Japan, Canada, and Russia. There's a middle one called the Promenade. This place is a fucking tourist trap. People come to live here, people come to gamble here, people come here to vacation. You know, it's at the bottom of the ocean. There's submarines, you can go on tours. It's a city. It's also kind of full of vampires. Because, you know, it's far away from the sunlight. That's like the first thing vampires would go for.
Right?
So, the 3 of you are all less than a month old. Wait, it can't be the first week of October. It has to be the last week of October, because I actually put a date on when Elysium happens. At the end of the month.
You fucking fuck.
I reject Christ!
Well, I guess someone's got to torpor for this.
We'll just all shut down. Alright, so it's the end of October. It's around Halloween. It's probably Halloween. All Souls Day. It's every 1980s Halloween. Ghostbusters probably came out, and people like Nightmare on Elm Street. Tom Clancy is celebrating novel fame because his book, The Hunt for Red October, came out. Princess Diana is still alive?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. As is John Benet Ramsey. So,
We have to fix the timeline.
So here we are, under the sea, in a city populated by people, and the 3 of you are vampires. I'm going to go around the table, and you're going to introduce your characters to the listeners and each other, give us a bit of backstory, and, I don't know, also maybe a physical description. I'm going to start on the right with Peter.
Okay, so Fyodor is a maquette. He's part of the Invictus. He's an older guy in his 40s. He comes from the Soviet Union, been an architect there, left for Talis 1 when it was being remade in the 70s, so he's been around here for a while. And he's a bit small, bit, hunched over, what else should we talk about?
Small guy, hunched over, I don't know, what's his hair color? Paint a tableau for the listeners.
Probably back, nicely combed over, so on. I haven't been thinking much.
Sure. Kevin?
Alright, Caesar Vargas is a 20-year-old young man from Canada, Vancouver. He moved down here after being essentially blackmailed by his family. His father is a cop who moved down here to serve as security after being busted in a convenience store robbery. He is tall, kind of dark auburn hair, kind of tan, Spanish descent. He dresses kind of like a typical gangster.
What kind of gangster?
Yeah, there's a lot of different gangsters.
It's kind of sporty.
Like he wears a
basketball
leather
team.
jacket, not a pinstripe suit.
Not track pants and a corduroy jacket.
Yeah, God no. Basketball, jersey, shorts, kind of gang colors. So,
Hooligan.
yeah, kind of.
I totally thought you meant like a leather jacket.
Oh God no.
Like.
No. And gold chains.
Also, he looks scary.
Yes,
Like
he
you
is.
took a thing to say that he looks scary, so he looks scary.
Striking looks. He cuts an intimidating figure.
He's gonna kill your dog.
Leo, who for the listeners is female, is in her late 20s-ish. She's relatively short, kind of has a runner's build, long, straight blonde hair, a little bit of freckles. She used to be basically a hippie living on a commune with other people, growing and selling drugs. Then one person was going to rat her out, so she moved down to Atlantis 1 to start over and build a new life. She started selling drugs again, and yeah, that's happening. She's has like a holistic medicine shop that she owns and runs, gardens, stuff like that. I don't know what else to say.
Seems pretty good. Okay, so the three of you returned about a month ago. Your sires are all known players in Atlantis 1. Nicole's sire is Dr. Marcellus Sangiovanni, the necromancer from Italy. Kevin's sire is Rebecca Smith, secretary to the Prince of the City. And Peter's sire is Alexei Romanov. Literally Alexei Romanov from history. But not a small infant baby Jesus boy, a full-grown man vampire. For the listeners who are not educated, Alexei Romanov was Anastasia's brother and was killed as a small, innocent little baby boy in Russia.
When I picture you talking about him as a baby, I picture that exorcist from Poltergeist, just being like that with a high-pitched voice, kind of baby.
They didn't move the bodies!
Brains.
But Alexei's a man.
Creepy Slender Man looking man.
I mean, he's a maquette. They're all creepy spider shadow people.
So are you.
Oh yeah, so are you! Creepy shadow. So, the night shift for Atlantis 1 begins, probably about 9-10 p.m. Various chimes and bells and music tracks switch over. The city's large overhead light system fades down, and the street lights and shop lights start flickering on. And you guys, at about the same time, your heart kicks in and lurches you guys to being alive.
Well,
All lose a blood
wait.
point.
Well, I think we first have to roll for blood points.
No, just start with how many blood points you want. Subtract 1. I don't care. We're moving on. Do you need a pencil, Kevin?
Yes, please, actually.
Okay.
You pretended to throw it at him, and then you did.
Dick move.
So yes, with a shudder and horrific reverse heart attack, you come out of your death sleep. Nicole, where do you sleep? Quote unquote. During the day.
Probably still in my apartment building?
Yeah, okay.
Or
You have an
my
apartment.
apartment?
Is it
Yeah.
just you?
And my cat.
Okay. Well, you wake up out of your bed, you being dead in your bed and being a crime scene waiting for someone to stumble in on if they ever snuck into your room. You open your door, your cat hisses and freaks out at you and scrambles away. It's been doing that a lot.
That's sad.
Oh no,
Oh,
downside!
wait, actually I have two cats, I forgot.
while that other one is also doing the same thing.
Nowhere to be seen.
Spitting up a storm. It looks like a ball of soot.
It's so angry.
Just feed it blood. Make it a
I was
ghoul.
literally just thinking that.
Couldn't
being a-
reset it.
Being a vampire has consequences.
I love you, kitty.
Drink my blood.
Yeah, kitty,
The cat, there's stealing.
Walking down the aisle, like your wrist bleeding, trying to catch it before like your neighbors pop their head out.
I mean, just don't feed them for a week and they'll eat you, willingly.
Oh my god.
They're just drinking your blood. They're the real Eartha Kids.
Fuck.
Eartha Kittens. Anyway, you're up. Your calendar that your sire gave you, which is like an Atlantis One Power Consortium Global Energy Lifestyle calendar, which he put into your apartment, has today and every other end of the month marked off as you need to show up for Elysium. But like he wrote that on like a little note in there.
Okay. When during the day? Night?
Probably midnight.
Okay.
All the other vampires, get up much earlier than you do.
That sucks.
They're up at like 4 or 5 p.m.
You're a hippie, you sleep in.
So it doesn't bother them that much to have to stop whatever they're doing to do something at midnight. You, though, precious hours.
Alright,
Alright, Kaiser.
Alright.
Reverse heart attack, you lose a blood point. You're alive!
awake.
Where are you? Where do you sleep? Where do you hide your fucking walking crime scene corpse body?
I also sleep in my apartment in a basement.
Is that the one that Rebecca has for you?
Oh no, this is when he moved in here.
He doesn't live with his family?
No. After that lasted like a month, and then he moved into his own place. So yeah, same apartment though. Just basement.
Okay.
He's moved the fridge in front of the door when it reshapes.
Smart.
So yeah, I wake up. Still the apartment. It's like a 2-bedroom or 2-room kind of thing. Very crowded. Very 80s.
Lava lamps? That's
Actually,
not
yeah.
80s, but why not?
Actually, yeah, probably lava lamps.
Suspended fire in water.
A lot of posters of 80s movies. The Thing is just everywhere.
Your sire Rebecca furnished this place when you were asleep, because you sleep much later than she does, so she added a lot of those lava lamps in.
That's okay. Probably gave her the key to my apartment. So.
Come by any day. And yeah, you also have one of those very generic lifestyle health take pills. You need your sunlight pills calendars telling you that today's the day to go to the thing.
Okay.
Do you also still have a cat that's freaking out?
I do. I don't know if it's freaking out. Venture have animalism, don't they?
They're using animalism on it to
Do you
destroy
have
its
animalism?
animal
Don't
instinct.
have animalism, no. Or animal handling. So she's probably...
Running upstairs, hiding the small space possible, vibrating in rage.
I'd probably, after realizing that she's going to be freaking out all the time, I'd probably let my parents take care of her for a while. Just it's like, this is not very good for my
Take her,
cat.
she sticks out for some reason.
Little Caesar salad, getting an animal, not being able to take care of it, making us pick up the bill.
That is exactly what they would probably say. So, joke's on them. I'm fucking immortal.
Joke's on them, their son is dead. I live in his skin.
So yeah, it's... What time?
It's like 9 p.m., 8 or 9.
9 p.m.? Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to prepare. Move that fridge out of the way.
Alright. Fyodor.
Well, Fyodor lives in a nice, spacious apartment somewhere in the promenade district that he helped. That he architected
An
himself.
architect's loft.
Yep, he architected it himself. So
So you're in the Rand district.
Yep.
Anne Rand, she had a boner for architects. It's this whole thing cool. Anyway, a nice, spacious loft in the Rand district.
Yep.
Worthy of your resources like 5?
No, I think I have 3 in this incarnation of my character.
Fair amount.
Yep.
I also have resources 3 just to point out.
Oh, I have resources too.
Aha.
Well, not poor.
Hooray for poverty.
Yay for Invictus.
Poverty is... Without poverty, how would you know you're rich?
Fiona lives by himself, as he always was. No animals or anything, so nothing to freak out. And yeah,
You don't have a calendar. Your sire told you how Elysium works and where to go,
yeah,
and has introduced you to some of the vampires in the Invictus.
yeah. I guess I take my little notebook to take important notes of what's going on, because I still need to learn so much. And take my little moped and mosey on over.
Oh yeah, you have a little moped. All right. So, yep, it's a night like any other. It's Halloween night, so people are dressed up in costumes and running around being jackasses. A lot of the stores are staying open later. A lot of the clubs are like doing like like some of them are doing family nights and stuff for the Halloween and the trick or treaters. A lot of Ghostbusters, a lot of Gremlins.
If I wasn't so new and it wasn't Elysium, I would totally want to dress as a vampire. But I mean, I have to look respectable today.
He's so gauche.
So, first part of the night before Elysium, the All-Night Society. You guys need to feed, probably. How are you going to tackle that? On the night where everyone looks like a monster and is totally exposing themselves for candy and money. Not exposing in the gross way that puts you on a list, in that they're leaving themselves vulnerable to being kidnapped.
I go to the pavilion near my apartment where there's like kind of a mini mall. I assume they probably have some kind of event going on,
The mini malls are everywhere. It's the 80s. There's also arcades a lot over the place. And laundromats.
Yeah, I'd go near a bar, near one of those, and wait for someone to kind of stagger out.
Someone does stagger out. It's a guy, and there's another guy with him, and a chick, and they have a dog.
Tricky.
The dog is dressed up as a bumblebee. It's a German Shepherd. There we go. There it is.
Filthy.
The dude is dressed up as Macho Man Randy Savage. The other dude is dressed up as Mankind from WWE. And the woman is dressed up as Jem from Jem and the Holograms. But a sluttier version.
Jesus. Oh. 80s.
A group, though. That's trickier. You have to settle for someone a little less protected.
And there's a dude dressed like Charlie Chaplin who's stumbling around outside the back.
He's dressed like Hitler. He's asking for it.
No, there's a difference.
He's yelling at probably the person who kicked him out of the bar.
It's the 80s. Everyone knows who Charlie Chaplin is. That was just a fact.
So yeah, I'm gonna brush past him and just kind of drop my arm over his shoulders, try to guide him kind of elsewhere. It's like, hey buddy, I can get you in the back, don't worry.
He doesn't say anything because he's doing a chart, because he even has white and black paint on him to make it look like he's in black and white. And he's just pointing at you, cockeyed, and just stumbling along. He has the cane he's twirling.
Yeah, man, just don't you worry. Back alley access.
Egon Spangler, but a big jack dude walks by. Don't dress like Hitler!
Just don't.
Don't. PSA.
Just don't. What the fuck, man? So yeah, the moment I'm out of sight, I'm just gonna not drain this guy, obviously, but have a
Alright.
drink.
Okay, this guy is drunk and vulnerable, and you take advantage of him.
Yep.
Your fangs pop out into his neck, and he is being blood drained. So, first turn, no one's paying attention. Here you go. I mean, there's more in him, though. No one's paying attention right now. I'm handing Kevin beads, by the way, to represent blood points.
No one's paying attention.
Yeah, that Egon guy's getting into a fist fight with the dude with the bumblebee dog. Macho Man Randy Savage.
Maybe one more.
Yeah, okay, here you go.
How's this guy looking?
He's looking pretty good. He's pretty happy. Oh man, his blood is it's spiked with booze. Looks like he's been drinking grain alcohol all night. So it has a nice, kind of battery acid feel, like when you put iodine on a cut and it burns good. You haven't remembered that for a long, long time. I mean, it's
One
Halloween. It's basically Vampire Christmas. That's what your sire called it. Boop.
How many blood do a human have?
All right, yeah, you're still going. Oh, and now you've hit the tropical drinks: blue curacao and red sourpuss, mixed in with Human blood, the life essence, pumping through your veins, making you strong and alive again.
Oh fuck, man, that's not fair.
You're such a drug addict. It's like doing heroin, but we're all white and don't know what that is.
What does being white have to do with it?
White bread, like Ian White, not white as in our race. Like
Just
it,
losers.
I'm gonna shove him hard into the back door of the bar, just in there. No.
all right. You instinctively lick his neck and seal up the wound,
Absolutely, that's a thing.
and yeah, there you go. You got 3 vitae out of him.
There you go, buddy. Inside.
Oh, he crumbles. He has the drained condition.
Shit.
Goes back and mark them on your character sheet.
So I'm gonna take a piece of like folded cardboard from behind the dumpster and just kind of lay it over him.
There you go.
There.
Charlie Chaplin truly is a tramp.
I'm gonna take his wallet.
There you go.
Oh my god.
Let me pause. So, Kevin, in one fell swoop, completed 2 short-term aspirations. Let's talk about what just happened. So, vampires are vampires, listeners, and you should already know this. They drink blood to survive. So, what was happening was, when no one was paying attention, Kevin was draining this asshole of his blood, and I was giving him little beads to represent it, and, egging him on to take more. That adds to his blood pool. Him doing creepy Antichrist vampire stuff drains his blood pool. Waking up drains his blood pool. So now that he's done, he has blood, and that guy's passed out, because when you drink from someone, it feels good, and this guy also just lost a lot of blood.
So this guy right for dressing as Hitler.
Yeah. So, in this game, you have what are called aspirations. It's how you get XP. In Chronicles of Darkness and Vampire the Requiem 2nd Edition, the Strix Chronicles, you gain XP not solely through the GM, but through doing stuff. So, you have aspirations. Like, Kevin's are perform a robbery and acquire wealth. You just did both. So, you get 2 beats. Add them on your character sheet. And those beats, when you get 5, turns to an XP point. And all the experience in this game is flat. It's not like, attribute times something. It's just a flat number. So as long as you fulfill your aspirations, you ratchet up how much you can gain XP and level up your character. I'm just going to delete those off your short-term sheet. You've got to think of 2 more short-term aspirations.
Awesome.
I don't know if it has to be for this session or next session, because I don't know how the system works quite yet. If you've listened to the intro, that definitely exists, listeners. You know that we're using this as a test bed to learn all of the Chronicles of Darkness systems for 2nd Edition Revised. And we're back. So yes, Charlie Chaplin hits the ground. And you cover up with garbage, and you leave to continue on your merry way. We're going to look up how aspirations work a little more in between sessions, listeners, so if this sounds wrong, we're learning. That's it for your feeding?
Yeah, I think that's enough for when I put getting into this one victim a night kind of thing.
Okay. So, we'll switch over to Leo. Leo the Unprofessional. There's a movie called Leon the Professional.
Yep.
It was made by Luc Besson, creator of The Fifth Element. Okay, so yeah, you're in your Catwoman apartment, and it's feeding time. Do you drink from your cats, weaken them so they're not so mad at you?
No.
You're keeping
Plus, I think kitties only have 1 blood in it.
Couple.
I'm not gonna kill my fucking cats.
You won't kill them; they'll just get really sleepy.
And you can take cute photos of them and they won't resist.
Oh, kitties.
That's horrible. Plus, I wouldn't actually. If they only have 2 blood, I'd only be able to get 1 blood from them, and it would kill them.
I mean, look at new cats.
You don't know how many blood they have. This isn't a numbers
It's a
game.
tiny little kitty.
So Giovanni just sneaks into your room every night to replace your
Oh my
cat with ones that are alive.
Reanimator, cat dead in fridge. How are you gonna feed, Nicole?
I'm going to go out where there are a bunch of
Halloween!
people being stupid.
How old are you assholes again?
I'm like late 20s.
20.
40.
My God.
So yeah, I'm going to go up to teenagers or something sitting on their door steps.
Your stoops.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. If stoops are
Yeah, they exist. Okay, fucking Atlantis one is some future society where stoops to houses don't exist. Alright. There are...
not like good looking kids. I don't mean attractive. I don't mean attractive. I mean
Everybody's masked.
Shitty looking kids.
yeah, kids that look like they are going to accept the drugs I'm about to offer them.
Okay, perfect. There are 4 outcast youths dressed up like the Beastie Boys, hanging on a stoop with their crappy costumes and terrible lives.
Punish them for their terrible taste in
Worst.
everything.
Steppers at the party disrupt the
Oh, this
whole
is
scene.
awkward.
One of them is wearing sweatpants.
Oh.
You wanted garbage, Nicole.
Oh.
Hey, ugly kids from the 80s, you want to be abused?
And some of them don't even speak English.
I'm gonna go to like a club.
You change your mind.
Alright, you go to a club. The
Yeah.
club is named JC Leggings.
What the fuck?
It's built of an old JC Penney's.
That
It's a
makes
Canada
sense.
Dome.
Alright.
Everyone is wearing leggings.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Even the mannequins, of which there are many.
Creepy. Creepy.
There's club music playing. It's loud music. It's probably a mix of jazz and ska. The music that was popular in the 80s.
Sure. That's what was popular in the 80s.
A dude with Venetian blinds glasses wearing a series of top hats, one after another, that look like the Dr. Seuss hat. They've been taped together to be really tall on his head, walk up to you. He has a pacifier in his mouth. His shirt has a face of his face on it.
So he obviously wants drugs. He has a pacifier.
He's dancing. He's looking at you.
The 80s are the worst, Devin.
This is
Everyone's
authentic.
just so garbage. Alright, Can I have obfuscate on?
It sounds like you were saying, "Can I have autism?" It's like, wow, Nicole. Inappropriate.
What the fuck? I was gonna say Auspex, I meant
Obfuscate?
Yeah.
What kind of
that
obfuscate
one.
do you have?
I only have the first level.
Which
Basically,
does?
makes people not notice me unless I do something crazy.
Alright.
There's no roll or anything.
There isn't?
No.
Cool. Go obfuscate. Alright, senpai, nobody notices you.
Alright, so I'm going to go up to that person, I guess.
His own face on his own t-shirt.
Yes. I'm going to take the little, like, scalpel I have. I'm just gonna, like, nick his arm.
So I think they notice you now.
Okay, continue with this
I've
plan.
been warned, Devin. I specifically am sired by the guy called down to Atlantis 1 to investigate.
You're gonna test them first before you buy them?
Yes!
It's gonna take like weeks.
That's not going to take anything. I'm a vampire.
Alright, you fucking stab him like,
like a little
a
bit.
Glasgow hooligan in present day Glasgow.
I don't like stab him. I cut him a little bit. But I do it.
I mean, are you using a scalpel or are you using like a coke nail?
Oh yeah, I that's why I said I didn't need weapons, because I'm a vampire. I just have sharp fingers.
Alright, so you grab his arm and you're dancing to the jazz ska and you slice up his arm with your coke nail.
Yeah. I'm just gonna like keep walking, so like he's gonna be like, what the fuck?
He doesn't care. He's dancing. He's
Right.
happy. He's high on life.
So
Alright, how does that work? It's like a power you have?
oh yeah. I've got the power. So it's called. Okay. What I'm going to be doing is doing a taste of blood roll, which lets you basically sense diseases, poisons that's in their systems, stuff like that. Presence of any drugs in their system. that kind of stuff, right?
Okay.
I have powers to augment this because I wanted those merits. So I just need to look up what I need to roll for this.
All right, let me pause. Okay, so Nicole is using Taste of the Blood. It's a Wits plus Composure roll. She also has Bloodhound and Distinguished Palate. Bloodhound lets her just smell the blood. Distinguished Palate makes any single success an exceptional success. So she's going to roll 6 dice.
Yes, so yeah, it's Wits plus Composure. I have 3 of each. I literally got no successes.
Were any of them a 1?
3 of them were 1s.
I think you can opt to have it an exceptional failure.
She already got an exceptional failure.
No, in second edition, you don't get the exceptional failures by default. You just get failures, and if you opt to make it a dramatic failure.
I was almost certain in this system, if you have no successes and a 1, it's an exceptional failure.
I don't think
All right, let's pause. All right, and we're back. All right, we were both a little wrong. So you get a dramatic failure by getting a chance die. A chance die is when your dice pool is so low, you get 1 free die, and if you roll on that, it's a big fuck up. But you just got a regular failure. You can choose to gain XP to make it a dramatic failure. I just lied to you.
Actually, dramatic failures means you give me two true things and 1 dangerous lie.
That's right.
But the dangerous lie is very dangerous.
That's right.
I wish I took herd. My character is actually quite afraid of that.
Gain the HIV and being thrown into a coffin at the bottom of the ocean forever.
Plus, also that means that like forever for the rest of her life, which is forever. So.
I mean, how long can it survive in a dead corpse?
It's a pretty big problem in Atlantis 1. I'm pretty worried about that.
It's a pretty big problem in the 80s.
The Craw was trying to deal with this in LA.
Back in the 80s.
Alright, I'm going to pause while you deliberate. Okay, Nicole, have you come to a decision about your failure or dramatic failure for free XP with no consequences?
Well, I mean, I can take a dramatic failure, but my character would know it was a dramatic failure, so she might believe the lie.
That's right, she would believe the lie. Or are we moving on?
We're moving on.
Alright, so where do you want to go?
I'm just gonna go like McDonald's.
Atlantis Burger.
Atlantis Burger.
The Atlantis
Burgers.
Burger looks suspiciously like a McDonald's and suspiciously has a lot of McDonald's fine print on all the posters.
That's amazing.
So it's a nice building, kind of built into one of the superstructure walls. It has a stylized golden A on it, almost like the McDonald's sign. They just sent down an A instead of the rest of the whole sign. There's arches that are the arches of Atlantis, you know, the far gates and stuff. The windows look like portholes and have treasure in them. There are fish tanks lining the interior wall. The fish tanks have a black light on them because these are tropical deep-sea fish that give off bioluminescence, like some of those like lanternfish and stuff, and jellyfish. And the floor itself is also an aquarium.
How long may I take your order?
It's so claustrophobic. Not claustrophobic, but like alarming to just think of being that far in the ocean.
There's like a groaning sound as you're walking in as they play the sound effect of metal creaking under the water.
What the fuck, McDonald's?
Atlantis Burger.
Oh my god.
Fish Friday every day.
There is a woman behind the counter. She doesn't look upset or particularly happy. She's just at work on Halloween. She is dressed up with kitty makeup on her face. Her hair is curly and up in a little fro with ears in them, like Josie and the Pussycats.
Amazing. I'm going to always be obfuscated.
Like a true Maquette or Nosferatu. Ariel Lemaine is in the corner reading a book. You notice as you because you have auspex and she has obfuscate, and you have obfuscate and she has auspex.
It's an internal standoff.
I'm going to walk behind the counter.
Okay.
I'm going to cut her. I'm doing this to every single person I feed from, unless I know them.
No, it's not that obvious. You're not like outright attacking someone, so... Alright, you nick her as she's moving by like the register, because the register has sharp 80s corners. She's like, Bill, I have to go get the medical kit.
Excellent.
Alright, she goes into the back room.
I'm gonna make a die roll.
Do it.
I got 2 successes. So I got an exceptional success.
An exceptional success tells you... Okay, so she's not from a ghoul, she's not from a vampire clan, she has no blood infections, she recently ate a salad, not from here, but from across the little salad place across the street.
Healthy choices.
It had fish in it and insects. It's just a thing they sell.
It's funny, you're like fish, and I'm like, ugh, and you're insects, I'm like, whatever.
Like crickets. They raise crickets over there.
Like the fish grosses me out, the insects don't.
Some causes of death. Nah, she's fine. And she has... Her blood's basically average.
Not pregnant?
Not pregnant, no hips.
Okay. I mean, the pregnant wasn't really important, but that's probably a detail you could figure out. I mean,
Yeah, you would from
Yeah,
this. This
right?
would tell you that. You got an exceptional success.
right? So yeah, I'm going to follow her while she's getting the med kit. Oh, I have to drug her first. Oh, she's gonna get fired.
Why would you have to drug her first?
Well, I mean, I don't have to, but I'll have to take more blood then.
Why?
Because having distinguished palate means you have to pick a favorite vessel. And you don't get the first dot of blood from them when you drink from anyone who's not that people.
Oh
Oh
my god.
Yeah.
What kind of drugs does it have to be? Does it have to be something like
Paris.
hardcore, or could you just be like caffeine?
Drugs
It
she
has to be
grew.
something I've grown. And I only really grow weed or mushrooms.
You could just like horse feed or parsley.
I probably could, but I kind of specifically chose...
An apple. God's alcohol.
I kind of specifically chose it to be drugs that I've grown,
Drugs with a capital, winners don't do them.
because it's like a thing where, like, I'm feeding them and they're feeding me, kind of thing.
So next time, put drugs on the whatever you're cutting them with. Therefore,
They
you
have to
can
ingest
mix
them.
I mean,
It says people who've ingested drugs she's grown. Not fucking stab them in the neck like Dexter's dad.
I mean, no one's gonna notice a bit of THC. Probably.
Seems pretty clear that the drugs have to be in the system for you to get it in the blood.
Eat this, and now wait half an hour.
You realize your mistake at your existence.
Might have to rework that,
Or just
So
go.
this-
Brownies around.
right?
No one will be able to resist these.
Give her some brownies, come back in an hour.
Leo goes hungry tonight.
I mean, I can totally do that, but I don't think she'll just eat random brownies she
If
finds.
she has a drink under the counter or something like that. Like
Crush up brownies into them.
Yeah, or like a bottle or something like that, and just drop.
Does she?
Yeah, she has a water bottle.
So, I mean,
You can also walk in and feed her brownies off the street by being a person who's social.
I mean, you're like a
I-
hippie looking lady.
I didn't become a vampire to interact with people.
You really should have made like brownies with like orange sprinkles on it. Or, like
That's why I'm
Halloween
making
little
it.
candies.
It's like, what kind of brownies are these? Blueberry.
It's like, no, really.
That's why I do the naked, so they have to socialize with people. You sit in the corner and you're mysterious and broody.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Just attack Ariel and drink from her.
I mean, I totally could. Just
Vampire
like,
vitae.
The best vitae around.
I didn't plan this out in character, so like I can't just like go back to my house and bake brownies. So
I mean, you could. They only take less than an hour to make.
I think I'm going to like.
You have a mark
I think I'm. Fair enough. I do know that she doesn't have anything wrong.
tonight.
It just
Exactly.
keeps cutting to
So you go home and have out of marital sex and get the hip. She can get it from a toilet seat, Nicole.
Just because Leo like at the supermarket picking up brownie mix, making it at home. Someone's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I've lost control of my life."
Oh, the credits of darkness.
Chronicles
Alright.
of Darkness.
Baking brownies.
What was her name?
Did you ask her?
No,
Is
but
it
she's
his
talking
name?
to someone.
Her name tag says Jasmine on it.
Excellent.
Jasmine cookies.
Judging by the time of night, she's probably working graveyard shift. She'll still be.
Yeah, her shift's just started.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I could either.
She's doing the 9 to 5, 9 a.m. to 5 a.m. 9 p.m. to 5 a.m.
I mean, I could just like put in some cut up, dried up like mushrooms in her drink, but if it's a water bottle, she'll see it. If it's like a McDonald's, if it's an Atlantis burger cup, she wouldn't notice. But that's a much more noticeable drug than marijuana.
Bill is behind the counter right now. Bill looks like a large...
Bill is drugging her drink. Oh, fuck!
Bill is a large copy machine with a smiley face on it that has a speaker built into it and a microphone. It's on casters.
I'm gonna leave because it just occurred to me that security.
Ariel isn't in her corner anymore.
It just occurred to me that security cameras still record me, so I'm not going to drug her drink.
You're a vampire. You know enough to not be in the middle of the cameras.
Your beast turns away.
Yeah, the beast knows where to stand, so you're a serial killer. And just out of frame.
I'm gonna leave.
You could just take 2 dots of blood from her.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna do that.
You just gonna drink her?
Yeah, and then plan better next time.
At least then you'll have a
Alright, you sneak up behind her when she's in the staff room and bite into her neck. She immediately falls kind of into your arms as you're drinking from her because it's pleasurable. Alright, so you drain some blood from her, but you don't get this bead because it doesn't count because you have a distinguished palate, sucker. So that's 1.
I'm gonna take another.
The medkit falls on the ground as you're drinking from her, discarded, making a small clattering sound that nobody hears. Because it's her and Bill.
That's dangerous, especially on a Halloween night. Should be at least 2 employees here at all times.
There are.
Bill can count.
Alright, you're going to take a second bit of blood from her?
Yes.
There's number 2. Oh, you dropped it.
Oh no,
It feels great, but there was a lot of stuff that went into this, and the trick is, you know, if you have to do this again for the next one, it might be a little while before you get more blood out of her. So, you know, might as well just take a little bit more now. Else you have to do this whole song and dance tomorrow again. You feel just as full as you did last night. You haven't really gained anything. Wait, were you at 9?
Now I am a 9. But when
Yeah.
when I drink from her, I'll be at 10.
Oh, then you're full. I can't even fucking egg you on. You're full. Get fucked. You're at 10 blood.
You can't fill up over the limit. You just pick it up.
Something happens.
Oh.
You don't digest it or something. I don't think there's like puking really that happens.
Anyway, so that's over her stamina, because she's an average person with stamina 2. So she just kind of like sits down on the bench after you sneak away and kind of puts her head in her hands, kind of sleepy-like.
She got woozy because she cut herself, and she got woozy at the sight of her blood.
That's what you write on the incident report.
You should flip the close sign around. Nice.
It's open!
I mean, Bill's here.
Bill's at the counter.
She's in the staff room.
When you get out, Ariel is no longer there. For the listeners, Ariel Amain is another vampire in Atlantis 1. She is in her late teens, early 20s. She's a thin, small woman with kind of unevenly dyed hair. It's, I think, pink at the moment, or green. Green. It's like an oceanic green.
Does she wear lots of hypercolor?
Kinda, but not like really bright. Like she wears like, you know, bright top and jeans. Carries books with her. Doesn't say a lot. Yeah, she isn't there when you come out.
Good.
Or maybe she is there and you can't see her.
I mean, I don't have aspect stats depicted, so...
Maybe she's gonna go in there and kill her and blame it on you. Maybe she drinks everyone you drink from because she knows you only drink from people who don't have the HIV.
Ooh.
I mean, smart, but also, like...
It's the
I've
dentist
already
system.
drank from them, so... She's probably killing a lot of people. I'm also gonna not assume that that's the case. She probably just watched me.
You're Dennis, and
beat on
she's
myself
Mac.
a little bit.
She moves in after completion.
Jesus fucking Christ.
What?
Just everything about that. Everything about that.
You got blood!
Yay!
You got blood!
I just like carry a syringe of like drugs with me now.
You're a serial rapist!
I'm
mean
Martin.
vampire.
You're Martin! You're George Romero's Martin!
She's gonna get high.
Theodore!
Yeah. Well,
You sit in your cold, sterile, self-made man and Randian apartment. staring down on the little people who would try to loot you of your hard-earned accomplishments in life.
Damn those people.
Okay, I'm pretty sure he's a communist, Evan.
Their
Like
welfare.
the exact opposite of what you're
Their
saying
welfare
right
and
now.
their socialism robbing you of all the accomplishments of true, strong, independent men.
Like the exact opposite of that.
Well, he comes from like a communist country, but then again, he's Invictus.
Also, it's the 80s, and Russia found out just how wrong communism was and how awesome capitalism was.
I mean, okay, but I read his character chart that was like, I'm a communist. Period. End of sentence.
These thoughts may or may not float into your vampiric cerebral architect brain. There they are, ants. Scurrying from arcade to J.C. Penney's.
Not bad.
Consuming and contributing nothing to society.
Well,
See, there's communism.
Sorry, to flip back a bit. See, as I'm in the staff room, can I like
Rob her a little?
look at like the schedule or something and like find her phone number?
Yeah, sure. You can also just photocopy some of the schedule. Bob is a photocopy. Bill is a photocopier.
I mean, I guess I'll do that. I just don't want to like be caught on camera, obviously having like knocked out a lady in the back room.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I mean, you can go to the camera room and just take the VHS.
yeah. Anyway, architect.
Okay, so I guess I'm going to go to my hunting grounds or whatever my father told me that I should be hunting. And, you know, taking my mother, I guess I can give some poor worker schmuck a lift a bit and, you know, what he'll be getting in. Like, oh,
There's a dude in overalls coming home from the Geo plant.
yeah. Where are you heading?
Casino.
Oh, I'll give you a bit of a lift.
Sure thing. He sits down. He's in overalls and is covered in grease.
Well, I guess I'll lean over to fasten his seatbelts and bite on him discreetly.
Yep, sure. All right. Jesus Christ, no foreplay.
I missed that. How'd you find this guy?
He picked him up in his little Vespa. Like he has a little golf
He's
cart.
like, oh hey, want to ride?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that
I
was
mean-
fast.
There aren't that many cars around, so hey.
He has a little tiny, like there aren't cars in the last one. He's a little golf cart, personal, you know. Zzz.
Moped.
I
It's
mean,
easier
there
than
are
public.
cars, but there is public transport. But yeah.
All right, boop. First blood point. You crack him open like a juice box. His blood tastes like oil and hard work, the sweat of a man's brow. Someone who pulled themselves up by their bootstraps.
Looks big and bulky, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll go for the second point.
There you go. Look at that. You could probably take much more from him. He's like a bull or some sort of Neolithic early man, swinging a hammer, crushing rocks, and moving the engines of industry with a sledge.
I think
Like Lenin himself made a golem of industry.
Um,
This guy's like 5'5".
well, I'm full now, so...
Oh, you're full? Fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck you, people.
So, I give him a bit of a lift and let him on his merry way.
Alright, you're full. You're good.
Well,
Push him off
I
the
help
Segway.
someone.
I should have
With
opened
my
my shop
aspiration.
today.
You did help him by picking him up and severely limiting his ability to deal with gambling tonight.
At least he doesn't have to walk.
Fine. I will give you help someone short term. That is a beat.
Whoop, whoop.
Alright, feeding scenes are over, listeners. That was a nice little 45, 50 minutes.
Whoa.
Alright, the first night cycle ends. Midnight's crawling on up, and you guys have to make an appearance at the Iron. Nestled in the Promenade Dome and one of the more foundational parts of the city, by one of the larger kind of arches and pillars, is a seedy little bar with railway spikes for door handles and barred windows and signs saying that certain types of people aren't allowed in here.
What types of people?
Certain types.
Is that literally what it says?
It says freaks.
Oh,
There's
no.
a picture of a butterfly being like stabbed onto a wood board.
Oh no, we can't come in. We are freaks.
So you guys have never been to the Iron before.
No,
All right.
not even once.
You have to get to the Iron for around midnight. It's like 11 o'clock. I can say you're all at the various promenade zone checkpoints, having got through customs if you had to go through customs.
I reckon 2 out of 3 of us probably would have had to. You could just sneak through.
I mean,
He lives in the promenade zone.
Oh,
I also live in the promenade
Because
zone.
aren't we all like
I assumed
citizens?
you lived in the Russian zone, so I'm surprised you
promenade.
don't.
I'm a citizen of the Canadian one,
Yeah.
so yeah.
I'm an Atlantis 1 citizen. I didn't
You skip the
realize-
lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just hopped on the public transport to the promenade zone.
Yeah, you go through border gate.
Good stuff.
Feel like any drugs or alcohol tonight?
No, sir.
The guy saying this, by the way, is a dude in black slacks and black long sleeve shirt, kind of like the kind of shirts cops wear, but they're not distinguished with markings of a law enforcement agency. And instead, he has a Kevlar vest that isn't for bullets so much as it's a stab-proof vest, and has a picture of a shark skull with a harpoon going through the top of it as a badge on the front and the shoulder bits. They're part of the security force. It's a PMC, a private military contractor. All right, he pats you down, buzzes you through.
Yeah. Didn't have any weapons on me, so.
It's for the best. Stop resisting.
So yeah, and then I'll just catch another transport from there to, probably got a map with me.
Alrighty. So, let's see how well you guys can navigate the city and the dice rolling. I'm gonna
Oh,
pause
no.
real quick. And we're back. So, you guys all plan how you're going to get to Elysium?
Yep.
Yes.
Alright, Peter.
So I guess ahead of time, I try looking at the Ironstone mainframe the city might have, of like all the locations that we have, registrar.
You just look up the address?
Yeah.
And like you got a city map?
Yeah.
You're just going to follow the city map?
Yeah.
Do you have anything for navigation?
Well, closer up, I can use my cacophony savvy merit to figure out all the vampire messages that are hidden everywhere, and then discern what's going on.
It's just hard to find because the city's a little bit,
Plus, it's a hole in the wall dunk.
yeah.
Mm.
So it's not so much that it's magically hidden. It's just
Yeah.
like if you look up a map and how to get there and stuff. It's just you going to be making a skill roll on. I don't know. Let's look at that guy. Who you are, Theodore. Streetwise?
I guess with wits. With wits is perception usually.
That seems fair.
Okay. Let's roll. No successes. I guess I'm gonna spend my willpower.
You also probably use investigation. Like I think this is a mental skill more than a social skill.
Okay. 6 die. 1 success.
Easy enough.
Okay.
Takes you like 15-20 minutes to properly kind of loop your way around the promenade dome and find the main transit hub for it.
Yep.
But yeah, built into next to a girder is like an old little establishment. It looks kind of like a bunch of stone fire bricks that have like little like crenellations on top of it. That used to be like the foot of a bridge or something.
Okay.
Windows are barred. The door is big and heavy. It looks like it might have been an old meatpacking door, and the handle itself is a long, twisted bit of cold forged iron, covered in salt, and weird symbols are like etched into like the grooves of it, where kind of like how a drill has those grooves going into it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in those there's like symbols carved in.
I guess I investigate what's going on with you.
Yeah. Roll into the cult.
Okay. Oh, nothing.
It's weird. It's just weird stuff. At the moment, it's off-putting. Maybe if you came back with more info.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right, Kevin.
I'm gonna ask around.
All right. Well, it's Halloween. People are partying. People are coming out of bars. Over there is. Let me pause. I just want to check something. There is a girl. She is Japanese. She's probably in her late teens. She's dressed up as Sarah Connor. There is a dude. He looks like he's from, I don't know, South America. He's dressed up as Kyle Reese, and behind them is a large woman, in a leather biker suit that's all black with a helmet on that has a tinted visor, and they're kind of just staring straight ahead and, I don't know, roll perception. Some sort of perception stat. Yeah, wits.
Wits plus just plain wit.
Just wits, just a wits roll.
All right. 3 die. Sorry, my tablet's being.
That's fine.
You get to
Oh,
roll
okay,
10.
so he rolled dice, and he rolled a 10, so now you re-roll the 10.
Just one success.
Okay, one success is fine. The person in the biker suit in the black leather is not breathing. And they're just standing straight up, staring straight ahead. Moving their head kind of like an eagle or an owl moves it, like very smooth, unnatural motions. But like the other two are posing with them with like a like one of those developer cameras and taking pictures.
I'm gonna wait for those two to bugger off, or maybe kind of give them a look to chase them off.
Yeah, okay,
He's
they move on.
Yeah. Okay. Can I tell if this thing is a vampire or?
Vampires can tell when other vampires are nearby by touching or just being in their presence.
Okay, so I can tell.
It's not a vampire.
Oh shit.
As you're approaching, it smoothly moves its head. And you can't see any skin, like there's like a turtleneck underneath the leather and stuff. It smoothly moves and locks the helmeted gaze on you and starts tracking you as you move.
I'm gonna kind of throw my chest out a bit. Oh, sorry, I thought you were someone else. There's a place called the Iron.
Staring dead ahead at you.
Shit. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up my map. The Iron, you know where it is on the map?
It's going to reach forward towards you. Gloved hand that has metal inserts, and you can see little, like almost battery contacts on the fingers.
I'm gonna kind of lean back.
He has taser gloves.
It's going to grab your map.
Oh, yeah.
It opens the map up, very smooth, mechanical, unnatural motions. Like it's moving in both its limbs, kind of doing two different things at the same time, like rear wheel coordinated. And it just puts its finger and traces from where you are to where you have to go, and it leaves a burn mark on the map.
Shit, thanks, man. Gonna offer it a thumbs up and just kind of back off in that direction.
It does not break gaze with you until you round the corner.
Awesome. And yeah, I'm just gonna head straight there. Feeling different.
Ignoring that.
Okay, you round the corner, and hey, you're in front of the Iron, and there's a dude there who's Russian that you vaguely met before. You guys were all in kindergarten together, where you knew vampires were put in a room together and given some of the standard stuff from like Rebecca and Zelda.
Like a scared straight programmer.
Kinder, it's German for children, and German is the
I
scariest
know.
evil language. Kindergarten.
You're ridiculous.
No matter how kind you are, the German should have kinder.
Hey, Frito, Fry, what was it
Yeah.
again? Right, Caesar. We met before.
Yes.
Yeah, I already found it okay as well.
Yeah, I think this is the place.
Does it say the Iron?
It doesn't say
anywhere?
anything on it.
Okay, I was actually wondering. Like, does
This
it
looks like an abandoned warehouse.
right?
It's a bar for no one.
You're examining those like runes on the
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah, look at the handle.
Can I make a roll for that as well?
Sure.
Intelligence plus occult, you said, or
Yeah.
wits?
6 die.
You have lots.
Okay, so that is an 8, a 9, and 2 10s.
You roll the 10s.
So that is.
And if you get another
5.
10, you keep your rolling 10s, by the way.
Sevens don't count as
Seven.
successes.
So
Oh,
4
they don't?
successes.
4 successes.
That's almost an exceptional.
Oh wow.
With 4 successes, you can tell it's a constructed language, and it seems super familiar. Like, you've seen this recently. But it's not magic.
Just another language?
Yeah, it's just another language. Like, there's lots of peaks and right angles to it, and kind of like spines.
Oh my god. I know exactly what this
Do you want to spend a
is.
willpower?
Sure, why not?
It's Klingon.
I didn't know that. I thought it was going to be Tolkien. I thought it was going to be Elvish, but Klingon's even better.
It's Klingon!
You just spent a willpower. Oh no, you have so few.
I'm so exhausted by this.
It does say stuff on the bar, though. Like, a lot of it are meeting times, names of people, habits. It's just someone wrote out, like, a little kind of cheat note on when people usually show up in Klingon.
Someone's a Trekkie. Huh. I'm gonna write that down.
But you're going to write down what it says?
Yeah.
Make
Kind
some
of scribble on
notes.
a napkin. Any names I recognize on there?
Yeah, people who exist in Atlantis 1. Some vampires that don't come around anymore or aren't really awake anymore. But, yeah, it's just notes.
I guess I'll take a piece of paper, wrap it around the handle, and just take a stencil of it.
Shit, just copy mine, man.
It's just Klingon. Kapla.
Oh my god.
Michael Iron Man. He's a real piece of shit. Those assholes are going to spend an entire willpower on this. So, Leo.
How do you get here?
Leo, you're in the Promenade Dome. You have to get to the Iron and meet the vampire playdate place.
So after I come out from the back room from drinking that lady,
Drinking her?
Jasmine,
Yeah.
I'm gonna look around for Ariel and like use Auspex to see if I can see her,
Roll blood potency plus Auspex.
which is really low. Oh, I got 2 successes out of 3. That's really good. Oh wait, one was a 10.
Roll it again. Holy shit.
No. So 2 successes.
Okay. When you look around the room, she's behind you. Like, you look around, and then you do like 2 full rotations, and she's behind you. She has a water pitcher in her hand and a cup of water, and she's drinking the water and spitting it back out and putting it back in the pitcher.
Why?
She puts it down and just kind of stands there in front of you.
I'll wave.
She moves back.
I don't know where the iron is.
She makes that kind of sound, like clicks her tongue or whatever. And it's like a motion to follow her.
Okay.
Ariel gets you on the B train. The B train stops at stop 7, and right below stop 7 is the Iron.
Excellent.
You just have to take every third stop 7.
Pardon?
If you take every third train to stop 7, it goes to stop 7 instead of stop 8A. It drops down. Like, she shows you the map. She shows
Okay.
you it. On the train is a dude in a motorcycle suit with a helmet on, standing rigidly, not holding on to anything as the train is in motion, keeping perfect equilibrium. You want to do a wits roll?
Have I seen it before?
Oh shit, you know what these are.
Right?
You know what these are. It moves its head smoothly, like some sort of hydraulic system, and locks eyes with you and goes to sit down on the bench you're on.
Let's look forward.
Yeah, you arrive at
Those
the
are
Iron.
shock gloves, right?
Oh, goodness
Like
gracious,
taser
yes.
glove. Okay.
Taser
So I'm like, that's what it looks like it is. So.
It depends on which one it is. Some of them have sedatives.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Alright.
Okay, that other vampire from kindergarten shows on up with Ariel Lemaine, and that thing that was following you, Kaiser.
Caesar.
Either way.
Okay.
I've heard it both ways.
Kaiser's the proper way to say it. So it's just no one's gonna pronounce his name like that. ever.
Everyone's going to.
Exactly.
Unless it's your dad calling you Caesar salad.
Funny when you die of old age. I'm still the same. Oh, Leo.
Oh, hey, Caesar. Fried.
It's happening. Ariel kind of walks past you guys, waves, and heads on in. The stormtrooper follows. The iron. It is the interior of the iron is kind of generic. Brown and black stone on the inside, lacquered wooden bar furniture, like the sturdy stuff that's supposed to last a few owners. An actual bar with stools and drinks lined up at the back. Pictures of celebrities that you wouldn't consider celebrities, like the bassist from the Beatles that no one remembers that only played for 2 days, that kind of shit. Worf's stunt double, Michael Dorn's stunt double.
Almost a hipster in the 80s.
There is a jukebox that is playing nothing. There's a stage for people to do karaoke, but it also has curtains and a piano off the side for what looks like lounge singing. It looks a lot like the Iceberg Lounge from Gotham, actually.
I don't remember what it looks like.
Okay, well, it looks like what I'm describing.
Okay.
Yeah, this place is packed. There's probably a third of it is just full of people, just giving each other space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13, 14 people. Give or take a few of those things in the helmets and the leather. There's about 4 or 5 of them. And they just stand around out of kind of interaction. Yeah, people turn their eyes when you 3 walk in.
And I sit down.
Shit, those things in the armor. The bodyguards or something?
People look away and get back to there. There's 3 main tables, it looks like. And people are just kind of getting back to talking and shooting the shit.
So he asked me a question, but I don't know how to answer it.
They're things your sire has, and he's let you work on them. They're people on the inside, but they're dead. They're zombies, but they don't rot or anything, and he's reinforced them.
Basically.
Like Romero zombies?
No, I don't tell you that they're zombies.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you that, but you're like, are they bodyguards? I'm like,
What's the German word for
I
iron?
look off a little bit, and I'm like, basically.
But are those ghoul things then? They're not breathing.
Oh, they're not
vampires.
ghouls.
Oh no. No, they're dead.
He calls them Eisenmann.
He calls them this word. I probably butcher it.
Did either of your sires tell us where we're supposed to sit or anything like that?
There's very clearly class divides among the 3 gathering areas. One table has people in a variety of suits. One table has people in a variety of shabby wear and a diving suit and a cloak that gives off Sith-like energy. And one table has Dracula and a woman with a monster face.
I feel really underdressed.
I don't know what we're really supposed to do.
By the way, you're able to recognize that the majority of these people, except for the bodyguards, are vampires. Oh, and except for the guy behind the counter, who's clearly a living person.
Huh. Weird. Do I see Rebecca around?
Yeah, she's at the table with all the rich people.
Okay, that's where I'm going.
So's your sire.
Yeah, I'll go over there.
I guess we'll follow.
And so's your sire.
Oh no. I swear if they make us sit at the kitty table. It's like, no, here's this play school. It's like preschool colors or something like that.
Little crosses and little blood bags that have juice in them.
I mean, Leo, you haven't joined the Covenant yet.
So yeah, I won't describe them all right now. We'll probably do one at a time as they do their whole Elysium thing. But yeah, it's a table full of vampires. Your sire's there. He nods. It looks like your sire, Dr. San Giovanni, and your sire, Alexei, are talking, and it looks like they were having a conversation about statistics. Like population spreads across Atlantis 1 and different census information.
Okay.
Basically, everyone's going to leave you three alone unless you interact with someone until the night starts.
Well, I don't think Fielder will be in a position to interact with anyone unless spoken to, so just quietly stand by his, side or whatever.
It's impossible to drink, right? As a vampire.
I think you can drink. You got to spend a blood point for a blush of health.
You vomit it out later, though.
Like, at the table full of shabby homeless people, there's a dude who's pale and has, like, almost Cardassian-style cartilage running up his face to make it look like a vampire bat.
Uh-huh.
And he has bat ears, and he's wearing 3D glasses. And he is drinking a Long Island tea. It's very long. There's, like, no blood in it or anything. He's just shotgunning it.
I'm actually going to go to the bar to order a drink.
Okay. There is a man behind the bar. He looks like he might be in his late 30s, going on late 50s by the creases on his face and the weathered look in his eyes. He's wearing a robin's egg blue suit with a white shirt underneath. His left hand is covered in a white, almost rhinestone glove, like Michael Jackson. And he is currently cutting out letters from a newspaper.
Because every normal person does that.
He's normal, man.
Ascension, that's a note.
He actually does have a little pot of glue and like a letter he's writing.
Christ.
Ransom letters.
$1 billion.
Has anyone told me anything about the writer guy, Michael Iron Man?
They're like, he runs Elysium. He's not a vampire. He knows about vampires. He's not just a person. There's something strange about him.
Okay, because I'm going to be eagle-eyeing him then. Oh wait, zombies exist.
Well, you already knew about that.
Okay, because I'm like, what?
Plus, they're vampire constructs.
Fair.
They also have personalities and stuff. It's a whole problem.
Did not know that.
Hey, sup, man? Could I get a Blue Lagoon?
Blue Lagoon.
Yep.
Do you want anything special? He makes air quotes on the side.
No, man. Just a drink.
We're going virgin tonight. Okay. Blue Lagoon. Let me just... one moment. He goes under the counter and takes out a menu that has, like, little hearts and Valentine's frills on it, and makes a very dramatic blowing the dust off motion and, like, wiping it with his sleeve.
Oh.
There's pictures of women laughing at salads on the top of it. Sangria, Be Mine, Cutie Patootie, Blue Lagoon. Here we are. Alright, one moment.
Staring at him.
Right.
He butchers the job of being a bartender. Like, he spills a bit and like has to start over at one point, mixes it. He's not good at being a bartender. He's good at drinking stuff in a bar, but not making it. But yeah, he makes a drink. It's in like a large kind of almost fishbowl glass, and he's put like crushed sugar on the rim and like a little thing, a little umbrella, and like various fruits. And there's a tiny rubber swamp thing hanging out underneath.
Okay, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Just kind of pushes it over.
I'm just gonna take a 10 from that wallet I acquired.
From Charlie Chaplin's wallet?
Hitler money and just slide that across the table.
Yeah, he'll take that and he'll put it in his money place.
Cheers.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah, and I'll just go back to the table. So let's see if I. So yeah, I spend the blood point and like.
Rebecca's
sip at
like,
it.
you're gonna drink all that?
Yeah, we'll see where the night goes.
You'll never finish it.
Wow.
She like kind of gestures with her pinky to grab at the second straw in there.
Just gonna push that over.
There we go.
I thought she was
see.
being a bitch. I didn't realize she just wanted some.
Just a bit of his.
Scirocco. Put me in the mood for it right here.
It's great. When summer rolls around, there's so much of it on the menu.
Right?
Oh my god, it's amazing. Especially early to late June. Graduation time. Cheerleading squads, they just build themselves up on this. October, it's all like... parents who are going on vacation while their kids go to boarding school. It's just not the same.
Yeah. How you been doing?
Oh, I've been good. Been good. Been working on some projects, some work with Zelda. She's got the last of the craze up and running.
Craze? Refresh my memory.
They're a type of computer.
Alright.
Yeah, she bought some from the Human Genome Project because they were selling off parts.
Huh. Pretty much anytime she says something that he doesn't understand, he either's like, oh yeah, that's... Refresh my memory.
Right.
Or trying to keep up.
Tell me more about.
We had to budget in for shipping just to get it on down here.
Yeah, I guess they don't have a manufacturer for that down here.
Oh, they're heavy as shit. 10 megabyte RAM. Took up an entire like quarter of a shipping container on its own just to add that in.
Shit. Okay. Not along with that.
Yeah, she also spent a blush of health blood point in his drinking. And later she's just gonna go drinking again. Every night is drinking night when you ever heard.
Yeah, because I guess they have their own lives and go to drinking events and stuff, so...
They all have their own goddamn lives. What about you, Fyodor?
Oh, I'm just trying to listen in on the conversations that are happening and figure out what's interesting, what's going on, and be a quiet good boy.
Well, just snooping in on what your sire and Marcel Sangiovanni's talking about. They are talking about using the newly acquired Cray to map feeding patterns across Atlantis 1.
Oh.
So they can see when people are drinking, where they're drinking from, and get demographics for it. But, I don't know, make a roll or something spy mastery to see if you can't infer something. Put your skills to work, Peter.
With
Earn that beat.
Investigation?
Yeah. I'd even go for subterfuge, too, if you want to do that.
Add to that as well, or
If you'd want to use that instead of
Yeah.
investigation.
investigation's higher, so it's 6. Oh, 4 successes. So I guess I'll spend a willpower to make it an exceptional success.
You want to make an exceptional success?
Let's do it.
Okay. I guess you're going to have to ask questions at them then.
Oh.
And they'll just answer really favorably.
Okay.
All right. So, ask some questions. Duh, child. You look like you have something to contribute. Yes. What do we have from the neonate?
That one's mine.
I figured. That sounds very interesting. How are you going to be gathering data?
We will be using the resources that have been spread throughout the city since my arrival to try and pick up data from local police departments, hospitals, and BBS boards throughout the city. We will also, the Sangiovanni raised his hand, be coordinating with my contacts in the local hospitals. They shall provide us with anemia cases and sleepiness or overtiredness, prescriptions for any sort of alertness pills. It's not like we're on the surface, so I can't just track meth use by truckers like I usually would.
Will the dons participate, or are some areas off limits?
I am confident that we can collect data from the entire city. This is public-facing, after all. There's nothing that can be really hidden. The signs of feeding are everywhere. As far as... He makes kind of like a hand motion that you know from hanging out with him, that there's more, but he's trying to figure out a way to talk around it. That's your hook to get in for the exceptional success.
So what's more? Sorry?
He's making a body motion, a body language motion, that he's trying to talk around something that has to do with them collecting feeding data, and if you can pick at that, you can get the info, and that's your exceptional success.
How do you give the context? So that they're collecting data some other way?
They're collecting data on feeding
Yeah.
to figure out who's feeding and what the demographics are. And for something else, there's something else. There's like a... The way they were talking before you came in is that Dr. Sanjivani was talking about the data they've collected already shows that there's a hole somewhere that doesn't account for vampires. There's something else feeding, kind of.
Ah. So there might be something other than what's here that might be causing some problems interfering with the data?
That's actually pretty astute, yes. We think there might be other things preying on the population, reducing opportunity costs for us.
Oh. That's very interesting.
Something near water sources.
Oh. Okay.
Yes, if Air Lacroix would give us some more access to the Russian dome, I could send in some reconnaissance.
I mean, shark meat, great.
That's it. There's something else in the water. And Unicorn, anything you want to interact with?
So I'll take a bit for find some good gossip.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Oh.
You did it.
Yay.
I don't know how to confirm that what's his name is just not a dude. Like,
Unless he does something weird. Quick, throw something at him. See how he responds.
Justice is blind.
Stab him.
You're just walking up. I need to know if you're magic.
I mean, if you smell his blood, it might be something weird. Maybe it's unicorn blood.
living a half-life.
Half-life. He drank unicorn blood. He's living on the back of another dude's head. He's...
I mean, would I have noticed anything up close? Just that he's fucking weird.
He's immortal, and he is currently writing a note using newspaper and magazine cutouts.
Can I, like, see what he's writing in that note?
Also,
You're gonna walk up to him writing it?
Yeah.
Are you doing anything magic?
No.
No,
I'm just gonna walk up and look at it.
He's on like side 2, like the other side of it.
Very
Hey.
stern letter.
A very sternly written letter. And yeah, the sentence he's currently working on, non-consecutive. And like every once in a while he has to like peel a letter off because he has a dictionary and he's trying to spell consecutive. Fucking Lord.
What are you writing?
A letter. People write letters.
Why are you doing with kind of magazine things?
I have carpal tunnel.
He's a medicine to investigate his carpal tunnel.
Break his wrist.
Here, I've got something for this. It's called pot.
I don't need your bribe.
And now she's gonna feed.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. I can't just like be going off using my magic on him
I mean, you
or
could.
stabbing him.
Stabbing him.
Pretty sure both those options are frowned upon in
I mean-
Elysium.
Just stabbing
Order a
him.
drink with his blood.
I want a person blood drink.
I mean, given how he's like chopping this stuff up, wait for him to get a paper cut and then order a drink. And see if he spills blood in there.
Spill the beans.
This is really creepy.
Blood beans.
Fucking Lord. I don't have anything I want to do. Show me your magic, magic man.
My God.
He doesn't have carpal tunnel. I'm like 90% sure that's a lie. I can roll if you want me to.
You gonna tell it to his face?
He doesn't have carpal tunnel, no.
Yeah.
One of his hands moves much smoother than the other, though. Almost like your dude's.
Gross.
I mean,
The rhinestone hand.
Gross.
I mean, he's also Iron Man.
I mean, I know he's a huge nerd. That's what I know about him.
He's supernaturally nerdish.
Like, in character, I don't know if it's rude to just be like, what are you?
What's your
Right?
deal, man?
Shaking him.
So, like, I don't know.
And we're back. So, nothing else really happens, and eventually people start moving around in their seats and chairs to face the stage to get ready for Elysium. Michael Ironman, the master of Elysium, the dude behind the bar, the living man, moves from behind the bar and like drops the curtains around the stage area, and a few of the people filter into the back. Of note, a few people just get up and leave, and eventually everyone turns their attention to the stage as the lights dim, and you can see Michael kind of in the front, like plugging stuff back in and like working the switchboard on the side. And they do a mic test, and then the curtains rise. And standing there in the spotlight next to the mic, which is set fairly low because it's a smallish bar, is the Prince of the City, Sebastian Lacroix. Sebastian looks like a man in his early 30s, maybe mid-20s. Pale, French, blonde, sandy blonde hair, and the entire right side of his body is charred and has glowing embers on it, and smoldering ever so slightly in the night.
Well, shit.
He has a cane that he leans on that side for support. And you guys know him as the Prince of the City, the person in charge of this place. Wow, air quotes. Jesus Christ.
Killer Queen.
So yeah, what we do in the shadows. Elysium. Good afternoon. It is I, your Prince, Sebastian Lacroix, and we are here to convene a October night Elysium. It is currently the Day of the Dead outside, and a very auspicious night to introduce some new members of our society. I served under Napoleon. I've been prince of this city for about 2 years. And I'm sure many of you have met me, but these are a few facts about myself. I enjoy fencing. And now, we will introduce the senators of Atlantis 1. First of the Senate is Zelda Redford. And he goes and he doesn't take a seat, he just stands slightly off and to the right behind people as they come on in. Zelda Redford is a woman in her early 40s. She looks fairly well kept. Also, blonde hair. She wears kind of gothic Victorian-style clothing that also looks like it's kind of aping business suit designs. She has long, sharpened fingernails that look not like talons, but more like tiny little razor blades. And yellow eyes that give off a audible, or not audible, like a very noticeable kind of glow or pulse to them. Like they're a gold color. I am Zelda Redford. I am Senator of Atlantis 1. I take care of concerns from the business side of the city. Several of the companies that make Atlantis 1 what it is are under my direct purview, and their subsidiaries run everything you interact with in this city. Interruptions to business are inadvisable as they hurt our entire society and interrupt the flow of commerce into our projects. I enjoy business success and not having my projects interrupted. She moves behind. Alexei Romanov is brought up next. She introduces Alexei Romanov. He is a Russian man. Large, dark hair. Well, not large, but like long. Like he's a little bit stretched out. His legs and his arms are a little disproportionate. His torso is about 25% longer than it should be. He has a sallow face that he covers with small black rimmed glasses and greasy, long, kind of stranded hair. There's kind of almost liver spots moving up from his suit collar. He wears like an American-style FBI suit. And you can see like these kind of liver spots moving up his neck. Almost like he was sick or had some sort of blood disease in youth.
Gross.
Yeah. I am Alexei Romanov of the Romanov dynasty. I've moved here from my coven in Russia, in the motherland, to take care of some of the more interesting issues the city is afflicting and to lend my aid to the already quite adept first estate that is being run here. I trade in information, and I deal in solving issues you may face. If you have a problem with the kind, or with local law enforcement, or with the masquerade being breached, please, by all means, come to me first. I'll be more than happy to take care of you. And a man walks up. He's a little shorter than everyone else, especially compared to Alexei, who's a giant, because he's all spider-like. He's short. He has a full mustache and a little bit of facial hair. He has an eye patch that's bejeweled. He's wearing a brown 10 blazer and sweatpants. I am Scarmillion. I was a gladiator many years ago. I represent Usuria and the Judecan engineers as senator of Atlantis 1. Do not go into the sewers unchaperoned. It is dangerous to your health. And he moves. Sebastian Craw takes the mic. Myself and the 3 senators of Atlantis 1 take care of all kindred issues within the city. Any problems, anything strange, anything untoward, and he kind of eyes the Nosferatu table, that you may be experiencing in the city should be brought up with one of us, and it'll be considered intentional if it is not. Atlantis 1 is a very small city. It is isolated, and we enjoy many benefits within its dome. The sun cannot hurt us. There is a lack of other competition in the city. We are a tight-knit community. It's very hard for things to happen without one another hearing about it. We should take advantage of this to make a more successful all-night society. And it's only through cooperation and adherence to the guidelines and societal rules that we have established that this will be a successful society. Who would like to come up and volunteer to introduce themselves?
Oh, shit.
I guess I can go first.
Oh, you go first, Sire's Pet!
Yep. Round noser.
Alright, you head up. All eyes are on you. A parliament of vampires.
Hello. So I guess I should do the full title.
Sure.
Okay.
Enunciate.
I am Lord Fyodor Vladislavovich Patrov, member of the 3rd Section Dynasty, the Meister of Engineering, the son of Graf Alexei Romanov, the son of Marquis Alexei Archeyev, son of Margraf Pavel Petrov, son of Kniagnia Yevdokia Ivanovna, the daughter of Erkok Rurik of Kiev. Russian titles.
Yes. Holy shit.
And I bow and take my place to the side.
Yeah, everyone claps. Sebastian kind of stops you. Tells one of your hobbies.
I'm an architect. I've engineered a lot of the buildings you can see in the city from the promenade district down to the workers' places.
Very good. Who would like to come up next?
On stage.
Oh boy, Rebecca's like clapping a little.
Oh god.
A silent clap.
Yes.
That's not
Yes.
silent.
Thank you.
Singular, a lonely.
I'm Kaiser Vargas Jr., son of Kaiser Vargas,
God damn it. Fucking lord.
and I rent VHS tapes out for a living. Hi.
Lacroix like, ah yes, my grandsire.
Grandchild.
Grandchilder. He's like, grandchilder. I always get them mixed up. He laughs off. Video home systems. A very interesting thing.
Yes.
He's gonna give you some hard candy next.
The site.
Thank you.
Even his
Bye.
suit smokes a little on that side.
I'm gonna stand on his other side.
Like, even embers kind of creep on through the business suit he wears. He has to actually do Blush of Health to shut that off.
It's like a walking frenzy machine.
Thank you, Grandpapa.
And then all eyes turn at the implication of who's next.
Can I get up, kind of like smooth out my shirt, get on stage? Hi, I'm Leo Kelly. I like gardening, and I own a holistic medicine shop.
There's a snort from near the control panel from Michael Ironman.
It's a real thing.
It's a real job. Very good. Yes, you reap what you sow. Sebastian's like clapping and smiling.
Farming joke.
I'll like, go to one side.
You guys are allowed to sit down because the other vampires are going to start coming up to introduce themselves.
We have to do this once a month.
No.
It is a substitute.
Kaiser has that 8 character to the others.
The guy who looks like Dracula is like, no, my child. It is just to introduce you to the All-Night Society, so you can know your fellows who work in the shadows. He's dressed like Dracula.
Oh, did you come here from like a Halloween party or something?
Yes.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah, he kind of like moves his hand across his bottom lip a bit, smudging some blood off of it. Alright, so the cast starts coming on board. So, Rebecca Smith, woman in her early 20s, almost the same age as Ariel. Young woman, she's in a business suit, she has her hair in a power bun. She walks up confidently. Hello, I'm Rebecca Smith. I am Secretary of Atlantis 1, which doesn't mean what you think it means if you were born after 1957. Everyone kind of laughs at that joke because she makes it every time. Like a lot of people fake laugh at. That essentially means I orchestrate the prince's will and make a lot of the high-level decisions that he can't be bothered with. So my word is his word, and his word is law. Keep that in mind. There's my childer down there. Take a look. There's Caesar. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's going to help me with our drug empire. He's really good at drugs. In fact, he has a record for it. And everyone's like, oh, okay, yeah. He's going to help us move cocaine to all of our business people down here. It's like everyone kind of claps. It's like, so yeah, if you have any problems that you want to bring to Prince Lacroix, you should bring them to me because I speak for him and his word is law, and he has many things he deals with. And she kind of claps at herself, goes, sits down.
She's like a living stock photo.
Laughing at a salad.
Right.
Picture the first time we meet her, she's just sitting perfectly still with a salad.
There's like a dude painting it. She's like, don't worry, once I have my stock photos done, this will be perfect. An old man walks up. He is wearing a vaguely British military uniform. It's like gray and black and has epaulets on it and like little badges on them that you can't quite place. Old and British looking, short cropped hair, salt and pepper, a wizened face. I am Commissar Rubedo. As Commissar, I am in charge of making sure all laws are followed and punishments meted out. Please do not force me to met out punishment. And he kind of just stares at you all for like 60 actual full sentences. Six seconds.
Sigourney Weavers.
Sigourney Weavers. It's late and it's hot and I'm slurring.
Not that hot.
It's
It's
actually pretty okay in here.
for me. It's
But I also had
horrific.
like a really cold shower when I first got home, which really helped.
I just want to die. Anyway, after those 60 full seconds pass, he then kind of begins talking again, like almost like he's sprung to life. I also run a film and entertainment appreciation night. The schedule is in the bar. Do not come in halfway through the movies. And then he goes and sits down. Your sire goes up. Marcellus Sangiovanni. He is a pale, thin, and sickly-looking dude that looks like he didn't eat a lot when he was alive. He wears like a long woolen coat and has like kind of an Italian-style business suit underneath. His hair is long and greasy-ish, and he kind of combs it over to the right. And looks like he looks sweaty, but not like gross sweaty. He looks like he's always kind of like under a lot of pressure. I am Dr. Sangiovanni. I have been brought in by Air LaCroix to investigate the blood plague issues afflicting the city. To that end, I have been given special dispensation to sire a new kindred to assist me with this work. That new kindred is... What's your full name?
Leona Kelly.
Is Leona, who did not mention me in her introduction. You will notice that I have people in suits made of leather, wearing armored helmets. They are mine. They are not alive. They are none of your business. Don't drink blood from kine you haven't checked. That's how you get blood diseases. And if you have a blood disease, we will have to inspect you to try and clear it. And nobody wants that.
No.
If you currently have a blood disease and have not gotten checked out, this will be construed as intentionally misleading us. And then he goes and sits down. And Sebastian Crawl's like, and that is the First Estate members. They are here to make sure the city and Kindred Society runs smoothly and is organized in a constructive way. Let us bring some of our more eclectic members on board. A figure walks onto the stage. It is 6 feet tall. It is clearly hunched over. It is covered in black and gray, greasy leather robes and like padded wool. Under the hood is like a white and red mask that gives off a kind of glowing effect. And underneath the robe, whenever like an arm or a hand starts to kind of almost sneak out, it's wrapped and it gives off a sort of mist. It just stands there. It's giving off an aura of pressure. Sebastian Lacroix, this is Usuria. She is head of the Trudecan Engineers. They are a coven that lives in Atlantis 1 that we share space with. Their feeding grounds that I have granted them are the Russian Dome. Please speak to them if you have kine you wish to hunt in there. And of course, avoid going into the underbelly of the city. There are dangerous machinery and inexplicable floodings in some areas. You don't want to be flushed outside. With that, Uzuria walks off stage and you don't see her again for the rest of the night. Then a diving suit walks on stage, big and brass and covered in plate and whale skeletons. And it looks like it's going to start speaking, and Sebastian just puts his hand up. This is Kanozozo, child of Uzuria. They also work under the city and outside the city, dealing with issues the city faces from its construction. That will be all. And it stomps its way off. It's still like wet, and like you can hear like seawater oiling out of it. It also will not be seen for the rest of the night. And then that guy walks up. He's in like a 20s kind of like zoot suit. It's red and black and a little bit garish for the night. He has 3D glasses on. He has a bat face. He has a beer in his hand. Hey, I'm Ira McKellar. I'm not related to any of these people. I'm just part of the engineers. I'm not anyone's child or sire down here. But I am close family with Alexi. Alexi will tell you all about it if you decide to mess with me. He'll be big on that. I'm Ira. I'm Canadian, and I lived in LA for a while, and I lived in Russia for a while, and I live here for a while. I like arcades, drinking, jazz, music, pool, you know, just fun things. We got game nights, you know, come to game nights. Hey.
Caesar looks super confused at this point because he has seen this guy around the arcades, just walking around in daylight before he got turned.
Yeah, you have. He used to say he was an elephant man.
Daylight.
It's like, what the fuck?
It was so obvious.
Did he sneak in here?
It was so obvious. He also tells people that he's related to Batboy, or he was Batboy. Oh, wait, sorry. He kind of points to the back of the room, and Ariel, the little young woman, the slight young woman, what's up? This is Ariel. She was someone's childer, and she hangs out with us. So if you're looking for her, ask one of us. Kind of looks at LaCroix. LaCroix looks at him. A series of glances exchanged throughout the entire room. People are looking at each other. 100 things go unsaid, and then they sit down. And then Dracula takes the stand. He glides on up, his feet almost not touching the ground, his cloak billowing as he walks, or glides, or whatever. He's literally wearing like a long red and black Dracula cloak with a brooch, his pale gray skin and long clawed hands, bat ears, and like, you know, wolf's fur hair. Obvious fangs that haven't retracted. Hello. I am Bruno. I am of the Order of the Dragon, a scion of Dracul, the original. I come to the city from a land far away. I traversed the oceans and the dragons that existed in between, and I snuck in on a wish in the back of a whale. And that is my child, Veronica. She's a marine biologist and has several degrees in marine biology. We are investigating marine biology. I, as a hobby, enjoy marine biology. Do not hunt where the Marine Biology Center is. That is our feeding grounds. Or the hunter may find themselves hunted. Commissar Rubedo has asked me to clarify that I will alert you to his authority. I will not hunt you. That has happened in the past, though it is a very real threat. And he glides his ass back to his chair. Veronica walks up. She's just in normal person's clothes. She has like a little nurse's lab coat over that has like just stuff like notes she's been taking and stuff. Her face looks monstrous. Like it looks like it's been pushed up and opened into almost like a shark grimace, and has like layered shark teeth in it. Hello, I am Veronica Bluth. I am a renowned marine biologist. You've all seen me in the paper and on the news. I am now a vampire. Bruno turned me, and it is amazing. I enjoy being a vampire, hunting sharks, feeding on whales, and seeing what it looks like from the outside when one of these animals gets killed by a predator. I'm also fairly new, so if you have questions about being a vampire, kindred, I'm always willing to schedule in for an appointment. She goes and sits down. Sebastian takes the stage. And that is our collection of Kindred here in Atlantis 1. I hope together, all of us, will work together to make a cohesive and stable society. But to do that, I must lay down some very strict laws and reinforce them. The first, of course, being that there will be no siring of child without my express consent. To do this, without my consent, will be considered the most capital of crime and will be dealt with accordingly. For reference, Ariel Lemaine had a sire, and he did not have my consent. He is no longer among the All-Night Society. And he was my previous second in command. The second law is there will be no ghouling. That right has been revoked indefinitely. You will not pass on the powers of the blood to the kine. You will not allow them to gain these abilities and risk breaching our masquerade. Feeding off of them, making them compliant with the blood, these are all fine. We all know there's a difference between feeding and keeping a herd and having, well, to use a term from our own Master of Elysium, Michael Ironman, a Renfield. And finally, there are mandatory Elysium meetings on the last of every month. These coincide with blood tests to check for any sort of bloodborne disease that we are currently grappling with. That is all. And the prince goes off stage and will not be seen again for the rest of the night.
Ooh, fuck masquerade.
And that's it. Everyone you're introduced to the vampires, you get a feel for what they all look like, and they start mingling. They're going to spend the next couple hours mingling together. Except for the ones that have left forever.
Didn't know I was supposed to talk about him in the introduction.
Aww.
I didn't talk about Rebecca either. So.
Not everyone was doing it.
Yeah, but Rebecca introduced him.
Your sire is just petty. That's not shocking.
Well, depends how strict you want to follow the rules of Invictus. It's like stating your whole blood lineage is.
Yeah, but
like,
no one ever did that at all.
He's a real Nazi about the right way to do things.
Fucking Ward!
Speaking of which, I'm going to track him down after that.
Speaking of his struggle. Yeah. He is, he's sitting at the table with Rebecca. And they're just trading notes.
Hey, sorry, can I get a moment of your time?
Very well. They are fleeting these days.
Yeah, this blood disease. You said to check before. You said to check the kind before you drink. What are signs, or how do you do this?
Lesions, and then they die awfully quickly and awfully.
All right, that's easy enough.
As far as checking, have them checked at a hospital.
So, like, form a herd. That's what you call them, right? Herds. So,
Find a few kine you want to drink from. Tell them to get their blood checked. Tell them to not have certain relations.
Christ.
Keep a hand on your cattle.
okay. Not looking too easy about that. Kind of goes back to finish his little cocoon. If Rebecca's drinking the whole
that's gone.
Jesus
she
Christ,
took that down.
Buy a second one.
Perfect.
Christ, lady.
What about you, child? How goes the hunt?
Alright. I find that certain people are more satisfying than others.
You'll get
Makes
that.
it-
It's in the blood.
Makes things harder.
Well, I'm sure you'll figure it out, and once you do, you can set up a more efficient means of gathering blood. Don't make it too standardized. It tends to make people go a little aggressive. You'll find you'll need to hunt. You'll find that you won't be as satisfied with caged food. You'll have to hunt free range.
I mean, if you eat cheap dinners every night.
Yes, whatever that reference was.
Also, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I can sense stuff out in blood.
Hmm. Not a common trait, but good that it's been developed.
Would speed along testing.
Yes, we'll coordinate in the lab work. Ah, unbelievable. The amount of labs that have been backed up. McCraw is expecting results on the first of every month, but he takes away the last of every month with these pleasantries. What's the point of having an assistant if you're going to be here with me, not looking over the projects? He's complaining. He complains all the time. Him going unbelievable in that voice is that's just him, man. He acts so put down on.
I guess I'll talk with Veronica.
Sure. Veronica is over hanging out with that Dracula guy, Bruno.
Hello.
Ah, hello.
I'm still learning about what's going on here. Can you tell me more about your Ordo Dracul?
Ah, dragons. They're a blood cult that believes that Vlad Dracula was a real figure who gave them secret Dracula powers, and they were passed on to his wives, that there were 3 of, that ran different departments and became sorcerer scientists that experiment on the vampire condition to throw off its weaknesses. That was the gist I got from Bruno.
Is Bruno right there?
Yeah, he's there, but he's not paying attention.
Oh.
He has like a little notebook open with like stuff he's writing into it.
That's very interesting.
The whole Dracula thing sounds apocryphal, but no, it's not. Ira, bat-faced guy.
Huh?
I met Dracula.
Oh.
Veronica kind of just pinches the bridge of her monster nose. We've all heard this story. It's a very dramatic story.
Oh. I guess I'll have to ask him about that later.
Later. Dracula's a real person.
Didn't Bruno also say something about Dracula?
Well, Bruno's a bit of a... And she kind of just makes a hand motion at all of them. A traditionalist.
Ah.
He's a romantic at heart. An artist or a poet. Yeah. To him, if Dracula's real or not isn't as important as the ideal of Dracula is good enough so that it could just be real. Facts don't matter, really.
So I understand you're more focused about the real, verifiable facts rather than...
Well, that's his brand of science. His brand of science are facts don't matter. It's more what you feel, and it works pretty well for him.
Mm.
And really, vampire kindred exists, so facts really don't matter. Also, and she kind of gestures at the bar, our host also exists, so she shrugs.
Is there something wrong with him?
He's that's a very good way to put it. There's something wrong with him.
Oh. Oh my.
She kind of just chuckles. There's something wrong with him.
Well, thank you for your time.
Yes. Well met. No, Nicole. Nicole made the worst witch introduction pose. Fuck you. It's just, it's not important. Demons. I see demons.
Cute. Do you guys do anything?
Well, I talked to San Giovanni. Is there anything really going on, or?
People are milling about. It's Elysium, so people are kind of stuck here, introducing themselves to each other and just shooting the shit, catching up.
They really they're stuck here.
Like another hour, it's over.
It's
Yeah.
polite to be here.
Michael calls it, so he usually drags it out.
To waste everyone's time.
Like, he even walks slow to the door to, like, flick the light that says Elysium's over. Or, like, put the fucking ceremonial shroud over the statue of the Virgin Mary, whatever the fuck he does. He changes it up every time.
Right.
I guess I'll talk with Ira then.
Hey, look at that, it's the new guy!
Hi.
What's up, comrade?
Well, Elysium's up, I suppose.
Right? Just a bunch of serial killers in the same room. Man, that could go wrong.
Yep, we don't want the feeding frenzy here.
Yeah, those go bad fast. What can I do for you, smooth skin?
What?
Smooth skin. Ira's face is, he's all like
Oh.
bumpy and monstrous.
Sorry, I thought he was talking to Michael Iron Man, because this guy was just talking about Michael Iron Man.
No, he's talking
No,
to
it's
Ira
like-
McKellar. Bat Boy.
Yeah, I get that. That's why I was confused, though, because I thought Michael...
Like, even like the
that.
back of his arms and like his hands and stuff or cartilages is just up and kind of spiny looking.
He knows that Fyodor uses Nivea. That's all.
For men.
So, you're related to my sire?
Oh, yeah. My sire is his older sibling, which kind of, in a funny vampire way, makes me your dad.
Does it?
I don't know, some way.
Will that make us cousins?
I mean, my sire's older, so I'm pretty sure that puts me just a little bit above you. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, she's great. Ah, we spent like 30 years in Russia together. It was perfect.
Ah, who's your sire?
You know, you never met her?
Well, no, I haven't been in Russia in about a decade.
Shit, really?
Yeah?
Oh my god. I was just hanging out with Alexei like 5 years ago at the winter home in the castle.
Oh. Alright.
No. My sire, I guess I'm her concubine, Anastasia Romanov,
Oh.
the witch queen of the north.
Oh.
Yeah, she's great. Ah, what a doll.
Hi. So you met Dracula?
Yeah, I totally did. It was great. All right, so like 2 years after Anastasia turns me, I'm out hanging out in Hollywood, right? I was just sneaking in on, God, it was a production of something. I don't even remember anymore. I think it might have been they were filming I Love Lucy. I don't remember. I love that show. Anyway, I was cutting through the woods because I didn't want to have to take the bus because I didn't want to sit and piss and shit. So, all of a sudden, I'm walking through the woods at night, middle of Hollywood, a bunch of wolves start running out. Big fucking silverback wolves covered in blood, right? And they're chasing this animal down. This animal's another wolf, but it's bigger. Its fur is black as midnight. Its eyes are like red fires. Its teeth are glowing like steel. And they're fighting this thing, and they're chasing it. And they're like chewing into it and tearing chunks off it. So I'm like, hey, I like this wolf. I feel like I should help it. I run in and I get into a fight with it. I have monster strength. These wolves can't stop me. So the wolf and I, the black wolf and I, fight the white wolves. And like, I guess I kill them, or they run off, or I think I got my legs bit off by them. They were wicked strong and walked on their hind legs after a while. And I think one of them had a claymore. It's just all a blur, right?
Wow.
Anyway, so I'm like upside down over like an old tree stump. I think I was thrown onto it, so I have like wood coming out of my stomach. And the wolf, like the black wolf, it's up on its hind legs and it walks over and it turns into a man. But that man's Dracula. You know how I know he's Dracula?
Tell me.
You ever see the movie Dracula with Bela Lugosi?
I think so.
That's what this guy looked like.
Ah.
He was Bela fucking Lugosi. Like, he even had the cloak and everything on. And he's like, he looks at me. He locks his fucking Dracula eyes with me. And he goes, Ira. And I didn't tell him my name because he was a wolf. I don't tell wolves my name. He goes, Ira, my child. How the blood has twisted you so. And he like pulls me up off the stump and cradles me to him like a father cradling an newborn with his strong fatherly hands. And he like nicks open his wrist and feeds it to me. And says, I shall give you a gift, my child, for your loyalty to our nightly compact.
Hi.
And I don't know, he buried me afterwards. I woke up and had to dig myself out. But it was pretty great. Fixed up that night.
Jeez.
Yeah.
What a story to tell.
I know, right? It was great.
Yep.
And then when I moved down here, I stopped having to go to sleep at night. So I've just been up and running since then.
Oh,
Eh.
that's weird.
Yeah. Dracula gifts.
I don't get this.
Yeah, when I was in LA, I noticed I was waking up earlier and going to bed later. So.
Oh,
Bela Lugosi.
man.
And I know it wasn't Bela Lugosi because Bela Lugosi was still alive at the time.
I mean,
He was in Plan 9.
we have someone who looks like Bela Lugosi right here, but you know.
He doesn't look like Bela Lugosi. He looks like a Bela Lugosi impersonator.
Ah.
I mean, that's not a bad thing. Bela Lugosi's a handsome man. You know, he looks exactly like Dracula. I bet you Bela Lugosi looks like Dracula because Bela Lugosi is Dracula's descendant. And they look alike. Just like in the story Dracula, how that woman he likes, keeps reincarnating and looks just like the last actress. So they don't have to use different actresses because they're cheap.
That's interesting.
Destiny's way of cost cutting.
You put it that way.
Eh. That's my Dracula story. I meant actually fucking. I think those were werewolves. I don't even know if those are real, but they were men wolves that were hunting Dracula.
Weird.
Right?
Yeah.
Crazy. It was a full moon that night too. It was a blood moon. It was a harvest moon. You can fucking check the Farmer's Almanac and figure out which exact night that was.
Oh.
Bela Lugosi was filming a set other end of Hollywood that very night.
Oh, so many coincidences, or the fate.
Yeah,
Man, that's a story.
it is, right? That's my Dracula story. I met Dracula. I saved his life. On life. And he gave me blood gifts.
Okay. Well, it was nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice meeting you too, new guy. You're all gonna fit in great here.
So, do you guys do something?
Actually, I'm going to ask Rebecca about ghouls, actually. Because that was brought up.
Now, how can I help? What do you need to know?
Prince, you mentioned ghouls and how they're banned down here. I think you mentioned it before, where that's like you feed someone blood and they become like a servant.
Yeah, that's essentially it. So there's two kind of ways that works. You find someone, you drink their blood, you feed them your blood, and your blood is not blood, it's different. And, your blood's a drug. That's a good way to put it.
Huh.
It's the best drug. Cocaine does not match. And after a while, mortals just get addicted to it and reliant on it. So mortals do what you say, and you can have them do what you want. Very easy, great for being kindred. Excellent way to manage having people to drink blood off of.
And that's
But there's a further step where you can push it a little and kind of push. Okay, you know when you get angry and you feel like there's like something inside pushing at you that wants to like hurt people?
uh-huh.
Yeah, that's where that's like the actual vampire you are, or the kindred. The colloquialism is the beast. Anyway, you can push a little bit of that into a mortal through your blood, and it gives it the strength and the enhanced reflexes and senses that you have as kindred.
Right, and that was banned. Did something happen?
Nothing really happened, but the prince has been moving to a more cautious take on the all-night society until we can get a few of the kinks ironed out.
Yeah, I guess there's not much room around here to move around.
Not much room for expansion, and I don't know. Other kindreds seem to get this idea in their head that once they've made someone into a ghoul or a blood servant, that they're basically vampires already, so it wouldn't hurt to turn them. The temptation's really great.
Were people pissed when he dictated this whole no ghouls thing?
People are always upset when you tell them what to do or tell them that you're not allowed to do something.
I mean, yeah. What happened to the existing ones? I mean, I assume they existed.
There weren't that many. And the Nosferatu, the engineers, that table, they were the ones that had the most of them. They were turning a lot of workers and foremen, and they were told they had to wean off of that.
Sure, they loved that.
Yeah, but they stopped complaining about it after Ariel's sire ended up being decommissioned, so...
Right.
My sire just worked around that rule.
Right. So this isn't something I can do accidentally and get in ship, right? This is something
There's very little things you can do accidentally now that you're kindred. There's a lot of will and intent behind it.
Cool. Alright.
You do it to animals, too, and plants. I've seen someone do it to plants.
Is that okay? Is that a thing I can do and not get?
Ah, yeah, they're just animals. People shoot animals all the time.
Huh.
If a dog's really strong, no one's going to notice.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I had to ask.
Nicole?
I think I'm mostly listening in on every single other conversation.
Yeah, it's a lot of people just circling back to conversations they had last month because, that's how it works when you live really long. The continuity's a little fuzzy, so they're like, oh, yeah, we'll just pick up the same conversation.
Yeah.
Like, not even repeat it, just continue it, because these people don't hang out with each other at all outside of Elysium.
So you want to go for that one?
Yeah, looks like the night's coming to a close, and after maybe about a half hour later, you notice that a lot of people are staring at a part of the wall. There's a crucifix that's been pinned upside down, and the reason they're staring is that Michael Ironman, the master of Elysium, has picked up a rod, and he's been slowly scraping against the wall, getting closer, and kind of missing it, until he finally hits the longer tip of it and flips it around so it's right side up. And everyone kind of just gets up, starts making their way to the door.
Oh my god.
I guess that means we're free to leave.
Yes, Elysium has concluded, as per tradition.
That's tradition.
It is this month. There's a schedule and a little bit of information that's kept here. He runs Elysium a couple nights a week, so you can come here and freely talk amongst yourselves.
Oh.
The mandatory sessions are end of the month.
I guess I'm going to look for that schedule behind the bar or something.
Yeah, he keeps schedules printed out in a conspicuous location.
Oh.
It's called the All Night Society, and it has like a timetable.
Neat.
There's also scheduled events on it for other parts, like that movie night, and also the. Apparently, there's a night where the Master of Elysium and Bruno have a debate in one of the other buildings in Promenade Dome on the nature of ethics and morality. Ira's penciled in a Galaga tournament.
Okay.
Alright.
Elysium ends. People leave. You're in the final phase of the night.
How long does Elysium last again?
A couple hours.
2 time segments. 3.
One. Like, you guys have 3 time segments each month, and it takes up the middle one.
Okay.
Or each day. This one just takes up the middle one. It's during the last segment. So, yeah, the 3 of you are basically alone outside the Iron. Michael Ironman still has the bar open. He's pouring himself drinks.
So,
Where do you live? On the right?
Canadian Dome.
Yeah.
Just kind of in the center. So I'm going to be honest, we're all kind of in over our heads here, I think. Or at least we're the newest here. So compared to everyone else, we're in over our heads. Maybe we should kind of stick around.
I suppose.
Because what he was telling me is, you know, you kind of need herds or like you. Your sire is the one who does all the blood stuff, right?
Yes.
So he's taught you about that.
Yes. Also, I'm really good with medicine. Also, I can tell if people have it just by smelling their blood.
So would you be super opposed to helping us if we say brought people here that we want to drink from?
Not at all. Although I don't think we're supposed to bring people here.
Oh, not here. Sorry, just wherever. You have a clinic.
I have a yeah. I was gonna say I have a shop, and I'm like, you might actually know that I have like a back alley clinic.
I know you have a shop,
Right.
but yeah, you sound like our best bet for not royally screwing over our own whole immortality thing.
Yeah.
And in return, I'm sure we can figure out something.
It definitely sounds. That would be a good idea because this kind of got out of control. And I don't know how much of that is vampires.
Yeah, I'm gonna be frank. I have no idea how to spot this shit. I just pick people up at bars. So
That's so dangerous.
I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm not gonna be searching these people for fucking lesions.
Also, I don't think that's like. By the time lesions show up, it's way late into it.
Yeah, exactly.
So how do you spot it?
Hmm?
How do you spot it?
I smell their blood.
Ah. How do normal people spot it?
They don't.
Yeah, I don't-
They don't.
Yeah.
Apparently people are sending their like potential herd. I was trying to find a way to phrase it other than like meals. Their potential people they want to drink from. They're sending their blood to like literal doctors, I guess.
Oh.
But that takes a long time. And then by the time you get the results back, who knows if it's changed?
So how do you get the disease?
Vampires, it looks like.
Only?
Well, no, it's like transmitted.
Caesar's just making gestures with his hands.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, well,
I
no,
get
it's
it.
it's like it's a sexually transmitted disease or drugs or there's lots of different ways you can get it, but
Ah.
apparently vampires.
Oh, makes sense. You know, blood and blood.
I mean, I don't think it will hurt us, but if all the people die, and also
Typhoid Mary.
it'd be really sad if everyone was sick.
Plus, it also sounds like we'll catch shit from the big guys if we start doing that.
Yes.
Yep.
Are you guys still inside the iron when you're
I think
talking?
we're like kind of
We're
standing in
walking
the
away.
board.
Yeah, I think we're standing away from where.
Well, there's no one else here except Michael.
Yeah, I think we're just there.
Yeah, you don't want to get on the Princess bad side.
What,
Yeah.
what happened to Ariel's sire?
Well, the prince doesn't believe in executing neonates or vampires anymore. He's lost that kind of taste for it. So he just staked him, put him in a box he had me weld up, and dropped him in the trench outside.
Yeah, because killing him would be cruel.
Aye.
Yeah, there's a chain on it.
So, staking him.
Yeah, staking him.
That doesn't just turn us to dust or some shit.
This isn't Buffy the Vampire. Oh no, wait, this isn't the 90s. This
It's
isn't.
an 80s show.
Was it? What did the movie come out in the 80s?
I think so.
I don't think it did.
It was super 80s, if I recall.
1997 is when the show started.
Nope, 92.
Oh, pity.
This isn't Van Helsing. When you get staked, you go to sleep. Well, you don't go to sleep, you basically die. And go into a coma that you don't wake up from.
At least he's not awake. That'd be horrifying.
Yeah.
And that's how you get reavers.
What's a beaver?
Huh. If you guys lose control of your humanity and act like giant assholes, eventually you being blood-sucking cannibal rapist takes over your personality and you just hunt and kill like a goddamn animal. And then you get put down. It makes a shotgun motion. Probably with a knife. Probably with fire.
So how'd you fall in with all this?
Oh, I was here first before the leeches showed up.
So when the city was built, that's cool.
Yeah, I helped build it. I got land shares from the companies as opposed to salary, so I use that to have places I live in that I make money off of.
And you just...
Did you come here the first or second wave?
First wave.
Ah.
I was here with the original build team.
And you just babysit everyone once a month.
Yeah, more or less. Make sure there's nothing weird going on. Check for signs of shenanigans. Keep the Fae out.
Faye?
Fairies.
Oh, it's that type of bar, I see.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My character was like, had her eye, like, her eyes wide when he said that, like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, Caesar just kind of looks like down at the table. He's like, oh.
No, not that kind.
Like, shit,
Baby stealers.
fairies actually exist?
I don't know, do vampires exist?
Yeah, but I kind of thought that was like the one exception.
Did you hear Batboy talking about the werewolves?
Yeah, but that guy walks around an arcade during the day, talking about how he's...
Batboy?
Yeah.
I gave him that one. I gave him that first issue of Weekly World News. It was great.
He's a fucking vampire, and I walk by him like every day. Fuck.
Yeah, makes you think about how that eventually happened, and then you died and became a vampire.
No, it
It
doesn't.
wasn't even a near miss; it actually happened.
Huh.
So,
Fairies exist, and you know shit that keeps them out. I mean, like actual shit that works.
yeah, but a room full of vampires does a pretty good job of it.
Yeah.
I just make sure they're not, snooping.
What do you mean?
They're not snooping, hiding, watching us. I've had a problem with them in here before.
So, why you? Like, why did you start hanging with vampires?
And then LaCroix reached out to me.
I hate to keep asking the same question over and over again. Like, why? Why you?
LaCroix needs someone to be master of Elysium, and I don't think he wanted someone who could be bought. And he was under the impression that and he said this when I wasn't around, but video cameras and microphones exist. He was under the impression that I had so much contempt for the supernatural, he air quotes, that I couldn't be bought.
What, you're like a... Well, it'd be stupid to ask if you're a vampire hunter. You're like a supernatural hunter or something.
I don't really hunt things, I just kind of exist.
Huh.
I talk to things, and things answer back, and I get them to do stuff for me.
Like a medium?
Kinda.
Shit.
You ever hear the allegory of Plato's cave?
Did my grandmother mention it once?
No.
Alright. So there's a cave, right?
No?
Alright, imagine you grew up in this cave your whole life, and, you lived. You got food and shit, so don't worry about if you died 5 minutes in. But you grew up in this cave your whole life, and you were chained up, and your neck was, stuck in a way that you can only stare at one wall, right?
Uh-huh.
And that's your whole life. And throughout your entire life, there is stuff behind you with a fire behind it. And the fire makes shadows of the stuff on the wall that you only get to stare at, right?
Uh-huh.
So the stuff on the wall, if it's a sword or a shield, you see this shadowy impression of a sword or a shield, and you think that's real. Because it's all you know. That must be a real thing. You following so far?
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens one day if you're let out of the cave, and you get to go outside and see what the real world looks like? And what the things that make the shadows look like?
You're exposed to all this new shit. You learn new things.
Could you ever go back to the cave and convince yourself that the shadows on the wall were ever real?
Nah, man.
Could you convince someone else who also was in the cave that they were real?
Probably. Probably enough.
No, it never works.
So it's just there, huh?
Yeah. You'll find that it's really easy to feed off the kind and abuse them because they think the shadows on the wall are real and don't understand what outside the cave looks like. People like me get the glorious gift of knowing what outside the cave looks like, and we can't go back. And also, there's more to the metaphor, we actually create the objects that people see the shadows of and stuff, but it's a little advanced.
Like a reality warper. Shit like that.
You ever watch Star Trek The Next Generation?
Like the Q?
Yeah, like John Delancey.
Fuck.
You're kind of like Jack the Ripper, voiced by the guy who voices Piglet from Wayne the Pooh.
What?
We're both strange monsters, but one of us looks much better in a uniform, and the other you can't really take seriously in that episode. Oh, no, this also is a serial killer.
That's fair.
That's you guys.
Can't really deny that. So, that answers things nebulously.
Not really.
The world's fairly nebulous. There's a lot of stuff out there. Nothing fits in a box anymore. Nothing fits in the cave anymore once you leave it. People have their whole lives to figure out what the shadows mean and put them in a nice little worldview. Now that you're kicked outside of it, everything is strange and you don't have an entire lifetime to rationalize it. This one's no different. It's a weird place. There's weird stuff going on. Most of your goddamn vampires don't follow the rules. Like Ira's just active during the day.
Yep. Nobody questions it. You and I didn't really question it when he was walking around the arcade during the day, looking like fucking that.
Yep. People like the cave. There's only 2 or 3 things they have to look at and figure out.
So, what things should we be looking out for in Atlantis? What else is there?
Never make a deal with someone who's giving you a good deal. Always get it in writing. Don't hang out in the parks. be aware of owls. Owls are nobody's friend. If somebody says they work for God and they also are a 1%er, run.
That's advice to live by.
Don't drink the water from certain pipes in town, but I think that problem's been cleared up. And you guys don't drink water. And never go to a casino that has a golden idol as its jackpot slot machine. Oh, sometimes mannequins come to life.
What?
And they are hungry to be real people again. And they will burn your town down with invisible fire of man.
What?
Yeah, it's a scary world out there, little dove.
Thanks for the advice, man.
Yeah. Now, also don't bully people. Every once in a while, if you bully a mortal and like try to do weird, freaky social experiments on them to like, I don't get a rise out of them, every once in a while they break in the wrong way. And I don't know if you've ever seen a horror movie with a serial killer, but those are based on real things.
So you're talking to someone into a serial killer that like serial kills other serial killers.
They never caught Jack the Ripper.
Fair enough.
It's a weird world out there, and nobody's documented it all. Some people get obsessive over finding out all the mysteries that exist in the waking world. So, you know, if someone's really interested in you or curious, keep an eye on them.
Right, we've got to keep up this masquerade they keep talking about.
Yeah, don't let people know that that their world's a lie. They get awfully stabby over it.
Yeah, well, don't want to wind up in a canister under the ocean. So.
Yeah, that's more the more prescient point here. If you fuck up hard enough, LaCroix will toss you into a iron coffin.
So they can't just banish you or some shit? They'll just out
They will banish you into a ravine 7,000 meters below the surface of the ocean. And then when enough time's passed, they'll let you out. Drop on by sometime in the month. I'll show you the site. It's great.
Yeah, sure. I think that's all the questions I have.
Yeah, I think we're way deep over our head now.
So, like,
Big fun world out there. It all makes life not worth living.
what do you mean by that?
Okay, so what did you do before you died and became a sexual serial killer?
Well, I'm not that. But moving on from that, I own a shop.
Okay. What did you do before you became something that steals the breath from young maidens and men at night?
I was an architect.
You're an architect. Were you proud of the work you did?
Yes.
Did you feel like you accomplished something, made things that would last, that would reverberate through history?
Oh, yes. Really, history here about this.
Yeah. How much shitty is all of your life's work now that you realize that vampires and magic things exist? In comparison. Like, hey, you could have been an architect your whole life and made a lot of cool buildings, but there's a dude over there from Roman times who's been in charge of a large part of the world forever, and his legacy reverberates through all of history. Kind of makes that Sears Tower look a little shitty, right?
I mean, there are buildings that are still reviewed to this day, so if we have lots of time to come to our own, then
Yeah, as vampires, but when you were a dude, if you never became a vampire, everything you did in your life would have been meaningless.
I don't think I agree with that.
Eh. Every accomplishment Dr. San Giovanni could have done in real life is pointless now that he's a blood necromancer that can cheat to fix all these issues.
I mean, if his accomplishment in life was to be good enough to become a vampire,
Good enough. The air quotes. What about not vampires? What about the other weird things? Some of them just happen, and they're far more effective at what they do than vampires are.
I can't really comment on those.
The accomplishments of the kind, he says, the word for people, are pointless as long as things like us exist. It undercuts every accomplishment, it undercuts every triumph mankind has or ever will make. The Apollo program is a joke.
How so?
And probably some fucking vampire helped with it. There's probably some werewolf on the grassy knoll blowing the Irishman's head off so that they made sure the project kept going. I don't know. Some politics thing. It's all game. Some sea leviathan that has 1 billion children probably convinced all the different people to build this dome so they can have like a nesting ground so if they wake up they can eat everyone in here and use their bodies as skins to rise to the surface. It's all a ploy. It's all a big conspiracy.
Yeah, I don't think I agree with that.
Yeah, Bruno doesn't agree with that, so we get to have our little debates every month now, instead of just talking about it in person at the top of our lungs during Elysium like normal people. Until your lungs are hoarse with blood.
So you mentioned that stuff in the pipes. Do you know what's going on with that?
Yeah, there's a bunch of vampires down there fucking with the work we did when we came here.
Oh, so there's more vampires than we met here?
Oh no, all the ones that are here, give or take. But there's a bunch of them down in the pipes changing my pipe work.
Huh.
Just sealing off sections, opening up new ones, putting in new systems,
And that's
changing water utility flows. Doesn't affect anything, but I know it's happening.
I mean, does that affect some people? You mentioned that the drinking blood is bad, drinking the water is bad.
That was a separate thing. There was some bad water. It came up from an undercurrent or something in one of the filters. It went bad. It had something in it, and LaCroix had the engineers fix it. People got sick. If you guys have been here long enough in Atlantis 1, you remember there was a water boil crisis maybe a year back, where a lot of people got really sick and died.
I think I would have arrived just on the tail end of that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I do. I just make sure everything's fair and equal.
As fair as shit gets down here.
Well, thank you for hosting us.
Sure. Cool. Behind you guys, because I assume you guys moved to the bar area, like the bar table area when he was talking.
Oh yeah.
Behind you guys at one of the doors, one of those sentinel things.
Hmm.
It's just staring straight ahead at the door frame.
It's coming to get me?
What's up with those
It's just
guys?
standing.
Okay.
Oh, the good doctor. Those came with him. I see their tricks.
Okay.
Yeah, they're definitely not alive.
Well, you guys aren't alive.
Yeah, but they also aren't us. So. Robots or zombies?
So Devin, like, am I not supposed to talk about what they are?
The doctor's more along the lines of like, it's none of their goddamn business. They wouldn't understand anyway.
Okay.
It's just not worth talking about.
You're gonna send a marvelous sign against zombies.
So one of them went missing a couple weeks ago. The doctor never really talks about it, but it just vanished.
No, I mean, they're just kind of people looking, people in heavy armor, but still people. Wouldn't be surprised if one just got dragged into an alley.
Yeah, that wouldn't really work. You can't really staff them.
Really? You got weird fucking gloves, I know that much.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
Like, how are they down here without, you know, these jackboot thugs everywhere noticing?
Who notices a guy in motorcycle helmet?
They're all like identical looking too, aren't they?
Yeah, different like heights and body builds.
Oh, okay, so they're not just perfect automaton.
They're not clones. Yeah, Michael, he's just going to close up shop. I think that's pretty good for the first session.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a pretty good where to close out on, just talking to people, getting information. We got a feel for a lot of the dice systems and
Good opener. Little leads.
contested roles.
Uh-huh.
All right. So I think we'll call it there. How do we do this? How do we close off an episode?
Just with their names.
And then I do it?
And then
Do I go
this is
first or do I
sponsored
go
by nobody
last?
signing off.
Do I usually go first
You
or
go
last?
first, then everybody else, and then like that's been
Okay, yeah. I don't know. I haven't closed off an episode forever. So, I was Devin,
Nicole?
Kevin?
And Peter.
and this is sponsored by Nobody. Signing off.